Welcome to LoganRobo's channel, broadcasting live on twitch.tv/LoganRobo and on youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Tonight's game is The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Remember, Ryunosuke Naruhodo is not a great ace attorney because he's good at his job, but because he starts his day off with a complete breakfast featuring Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. They're great! Thanks for tuning in to twitch.tv/LoganRobo and youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Please enjoy the stream. And we are live! How is everybody doing? Welcome! I started a few minutes late tonight because right before the stream, I had an idea for something I wanted to try to do to see if it'll fix some of our technical problems. So I completely, in a scrambling in 5 or 10 minutes, redid all the audio settings for OBS. Can you guys hear the game? I kind of messed up one, and so for part of the intro, I think the game was muted. But can you guys hear the game? Okay. Please let me know, because I can't hear any difference. I just need to trust that it's going out there. So let me know if you can hear this, and I should have everything set on different sliders now. So if any of the alerts sound way too loud or way too quiet, please let me know ASAP, and I will go to that individual alert and try to adjust it. And maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But how are you guys doing? I see that over on Twitch, Extemporaneous was here early with a lurk and a random Transformers check, Silverbolt G1. He's the leader of the Aerial Bots, a subgroup of Autobots. He's cool because he's like an Autobot that turns into a jet. I think it's like a Concorde, that's the type of jet, right? I don't know. And, but his whole thing is he's a jet, but he's scared of heights, so he's very endearing. Also, would you rather throw the best parties, but have to clean up the mess by yourself, or never go to a party again? Okay, here's the thing. I'm not good with parties, but I don't want to never be able to go to a party, because every now and then I'll like a party. So I'm going to assume that I only have to clean up the parties if I throw them. So I will say throw the best parties, but I have to clean them up, and I just will only do it on occasion. Sound fair, I think? Thank you for the lurk, Extemporaneous. Oak says, hey, Longa. Quickity says, howdy. Atlantic says, hello, hello. How are all of you? Quickity said, oh, I got scared for a sec thinking the music was muted, lol. Yeah, it was just a last minute flub there. Let's see, and Oak says, I don't know how long I can stay, but I'm here for now. Me too, welcome. I hope you can stay very long. Neon says, hello-mst. And Bumbo says, hello-mies. How are all of you? Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. I see Dermo was here early saying, hi. Made sure to be here for this case in particular. It's my favorite by far. Well, everybody last time was really hyping up this next case. We're on case 3. It was the adventure of the runaway room, I think it's called. I can't remember if you guys said the case itself is really good. I think people were calling it peak though, but I can't remember if you said that the case is good or there's just a really good character that gets introduced in it. I'm not sure which. Rivulet says, fun fact for people waiting, most hover life species try to mimic wasps and bees to ward off predators. What are hover life? Are they like bugs that can fly around and just kind of stay in one spot? Because that's what I would imagine. If I was to guess what a hover life is, I would go with that, but thank you for the interesting fact. Frozy says, as long as they don't mimic their stinger and sting you, they are all right-ish by me. You see, that's the bad part about a lot of that stuff. So yes, I concur, Frozy. Let's see, and then Rivulet says, I don't think they do that, so you're probably okay. And Dermot said, wasps suck. Toshi says, wasps indeed. And Rivulet says, wasps are cool, not gonna lie. Well, they're jerks. You can still be a cool jerk, I guess. But again, how is everybody? Extemporaneous, Oak, Queen Katie, Atlantic, Neon, Bumbo, Dermo, Rivulet, Frulzy, Toshi. How are all of you? Hope you're having a good weekend. Back over on Twitch, Neon says, cereal. Bubba said, I find myself only liking cereal crunchy. No milk allowed. Well, I mean, I gotta put milk on it, but you gotta eat it the right way. Number one is some of it's about speed, to eat it before it gets soggy, but also it's about the pouring. You just want to pour like into a corner of the top surface so it raises the cereal up. Most of the cereal is like, it's above the milk, and then as you eat it, it sort of like crumbles in like erosion, and then it stays very crunchy. Vex says, hello, how you doing, Vex? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so once again, please do let me know if there are any sound alerts tonight, TTSs, shout outs, clip viewer stuff. I have all of those things now. And like my OBS is a mess because it's like really cluttered on separate audio sources. So if any of them sound weird, let me know and I will adjust them. But for right now, oh! Okay, that sounded normal to me, but I don't know what that sounds like to you guys. Because last time that was way too loud. Is that good to you guys? Thank you very much, Queen Katie, for the remember to save. So yeah, and I may have to go in and like adjust the audio files for each individual sound alert and re-upload them to get them unified. I'm looking at the bottom of the chat. There was nothing. You guys couldn't hear that? Hang on. Let me see if I can figure this out. I'm gonna try and do this just really, really quickly. No, sound alert. Let me. Okay. That should be, I want the alert box. Where is the alert box? There it is, property, okay. So that should be right there. And let's try that. Oh my gosh, I see what happened here, hang on. There we go. Thank you for checking that. Okay, it should work now. It should absolutely work now. But then I also need to change a couple of other little things really, really quickly. Okay. Thank you very much. Did that one work? Because I'm having to quickly change some of these. Some of these are, all right, monitor and output, monitor and output. And there we are. So I don't know if that Tomcat was on the right one, but hopefully they'll work now. So thank you. So still nothing. Oh, yeah, here's the tail end of that one. At the bottom, it says Eglin. Yeah, I think I clicked it just barely in time at the very end. So it should work at this point. My apologies. But thank you. I'm going to try a sound alert. We will get to the game, I promise. The lurkers are probably all taken off. Let me see if I can pick one. Can I do a sound alert? Let's see. I'm going to do the objection, okay? Wait, no. Objection is trigger fire. I just want a regular sound alert. I think it's the only, I think we've done all of the regular sound alerts. So we'll try those later, but I'm gonna try the objection and we're gonna see if you guys can hear this. Please let me know.
Objection!
Oh, crap, that was really loud. That was really loud to me. I think I need to change the level on that one. Okay, let me bring that down a little bit. Let me bring that down. Okay, I brought that down. So I think we're good. Thank you for your patience. Let's load up the game. Now that we've taken care of all the technical issues, gotten that hopefully resolved. But thank you all, by the way, for being here, both on Twitch and on YouTube. So we're starting a new chapter today, a new episode. We're doing episode 3, The Adventure of the Runaway Room. So you guys ready for this opening cutscene? So yes, let's do this. Start playing from the save game data. Episode 3. Oh, because it's in a stagecoach. So it's a room, and it's going to be a runaway stagecoach. The Adventure of the Runaway Room.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter.
Is this Watson again, or Wilson, or whatever?
A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night.
Oh no, the knight was murdered.
Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself.
Okay, that's intriguing.
However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner.
So is this based on another Sherlock Holmes story? Oh, there's Holmes and Watson, yeah.
Mr. Herlock Sholmes once said of the incident,
I believe that perhaps that case was indeed
the prelude, the beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together.
I don't think actual Sherlock Holmes stories mention an impressive Japanese student, so I think that might have been something they had. Oh, hand-drawn, animated. Why does it start to say 3D? Hand-drawn. Oh, that's us.
Amazing.
Susato's so much shorter than us.
Is this really just a railway station?
The railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
Why do you have a British accent, girl?
And look at all the steam locomotives.
So much steam. I bet there's so many games on those
This country
steams.
is incredible.
Gilliam, Piccadilly Pavilion. Wow. Look at all these British people. Brian's Cocoa, best in London, fragrant something. Hello, street urchin, don't steal my luggage.
Like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
I keep forgetting that England was called Great
In that
Britain
case,
back then. I guess still technically.
The Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure.
Cheese and pa, British Taylor.
I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay. And welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
Yay! Is that the real reason it's the Great Ace Attorney? Because it's in Great Britain? If it was the United Kingdom, it'd be the United Ace Attorney. Oh, so many gears and cogs and birds. Yeah, this isn't the courtroom. Is this the school? Is this what law school looks like? 18th February, 9:21 a.m. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and guess that this is not accurate to the actual Supreme Court in Great Britain. This looks like this is inside of Big Ben. Is the judge gonna be named Ben? Huh. What an incredible place. It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. And then literally suffocating, takes your breath. It looks like a fortress. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only just been built in a few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. Wait, did they not have stone architecture until they... Oh, okay, I learned something. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences than, I thought he was gonna say meets the eye, than just construction materials. What is this place? What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice, the Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time. If circumstances were different, we were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. But Kazuma can't. No. So instead, we're here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So we'd have to return to Japan. If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour. Is this case just gonna be like taking the exam, taking the bar? I'm gonna read a couple comments in the chat, because this opening cutscene is fun. But I'm already missing you guys, and I'm already getting behind in both chats, both on Twitch and on YouTube. First over on Twitch, Queen Gator said, I'm so thankful for the stream tonight, lol. Not only was I tired from a rough night sleeping, me too, I had a tough time sleeping last night. But while brainstorming my OCs, I somehow got myself into a loop of questioning my gender, gotta love that in a day. But now we have Ace Attorney with our best loser. Oh, are we talking about Herlock? Is he coming back, or is Ryunosuke our best loser? Bubba says, ooh, how'd the questioning go? Oak says, yeah, the audio is good. What did you do? Like I said, everything's on a separate thing now. Neon says, sounds good so far. Queen says, I don't know, it's kind of thing like I'm a girl sometimes, but just kind of feel like not like that kind of weirdness. Bubba said, same. I found myself questioning more mask recently. Queen says, woo, 90 stream streak. Bubba said, oh, I misspelled mask. And Queen says, Twitch better give me an insane amount of points for 100 streams. I think so. They're probably just going to be like 450 again. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Frilzy says game's a teensy bit quiet. Okay, let me up the game a little bit then. If it's a little bit quiet, I'm just gonna go up a teensy bit, just a teensy bit. Let me just get to it here, and I pressed the teensy button. Let me know if you felt a difference there. Derma says it's been a rough day. My mom's been injured, so I have to take care of them. Glad to have stream to unwind. I assume someone's with mom with like an A, right? It's probably just a regional spelling. I hope your mom is okay, Dermo. Like man, if I tell you, if anything happened to my mom, I would like drop everything else I was doing. I am so sorry. I hope she gets better. Foolsy says listing all the views sounded like you were uniting the Avengers. Rivulet says hoverfly. Oh, hang on. Hoverflies, not hover life. Oh, I misread it. Also, wasps are just as good for the environment as bees. Are they? I mean, they don't give us honey. I was hoping wasps were in the category of like mosquitoes, where it's like we can wipe them out. We'll do it. We'll kill them all. We really don't like them, but let me take one more look over Twitch. We'll get back in the game for a little bit. I see we got a fair number of lurkers over on YouTube. So if you're lurking, I read every comment in chat. I just sometimes get behind because I just love reading chat. Let's see. Bumble says, Queen Katie, I'm betting it'll give you 450s. And apparently this is when the game gets much better. I've been enjoying the game. I liked how in chapter 2, it was kind of refreshing in a weird way that there was no trial. It makes it feel freeing that like any chapter can be whatever it wants. And the whole dance of deduction, I was thinking about earlier today. What was so nice about that is it felt more like investigations, because in the regular Ace Attorney games, anytime you're like, when I said investigation, I mean the game Ace Attorney Investigations, because regular Ace Attorney, when you're doing the investigation, lowercase I, it's just a lot of click on things, add court record, click on things, talk about things, talk to someone. It's just like, it kind of gets monotonous. But in Ace Attorney Investigations, it was really fun the way that it would kind of go back and forth and kind of intermixed the actual investigating with fun game mechanics. Whereas in the regular Ace Attorney, all you had was that maybe in once a rare while, you'd get a psyche lock. But this, it was nice. It felt like courtroom stuff, but outside the courtroom, so I enjoyed it very much. Oak said to Bumblebee 2, I'm only 3 days from 100. Bubba says I'm 91 days away from 100. And Quigata said, might as well start the case off with a Japanese translated name. Oh, in the original version of the game, as a reminder, the case name starts with the English name before transforming into Japanese. Case 3 is a fast-paced, locked room adventure. I like that, the idea that the runaway room is itself a locked room. I dig it. Okay, let's get into the game. I'll be back to both chats soon.
Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer.
Which is what I've been studying for.
Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London.
I hope I'm up to scratch. Okay, I don't know. We'll wait till we see this person. Good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Is it going to be Judge Udgy? I hope it's Judge Udgy's ancestor. Oh, very, very imposing gentleman. Very intense eyes on this guy. I feel like he's burning a hole through my soul. Oh. Also very detailed lip flaps on him. For right now, I'm gonna give him the Beef Longa voice. I don't know why. I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. Oh, he's got a pocket watch. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. Maybe it should be B-flat. Maybe it should be very, very deep. How fortunate. I'll test that out now. So, introductions. I'm Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. Let me know which voice you guys prefer. So, okay, male sounds like the beginning of like Maelstrom. Or malevolent. Maybe he's like a really awful person. Male and Strongheart. It just sounds very stern to me, like he's got a strong heart. I'm imagining he's probably very strict and maybe a jerk. So that's what I'm guessing about this gentleman. I'm sure that Queen Katie is probably either right now preparing a name fact for this guy, or we might have to wait longer till we get to know him more before we get a name fact. Ugh. And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot.
Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse.
Well, and there's that old, it's not really a superstition, but like the old wives, it's not an old wives' tale either. What is it? It's like a weird thing where they always claim that elephants are scared of mice. It's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Yeah, maybe the beef longa might be a little too silly for this guy. I don't know. Yes! Thank you. His hair is very pointy. In all directions, like hair on his head goes up, but hair everywhere else goes other places. Let me save the game. We're like 20 minutes into stream. I want to do this periodically. I'll read a few more comments to chat, and then we're gonna chat with Male Strongheart. Hang on. Exit. There we go. Okay, so this guy's name is Male Strongheart. I hope that he's married. Hope his wife is named Female. Female and male. Now you just tell who the husband and who the wife are. But yes, I'm gonna read a couple more comments to the chat. Vex says, most of WASP's jerk reputation comes from one or two European species invasive to the US. Most native wasps are solidarity, assuming solitary, very chill and very sting shy. Support your local wasps, folks. Yeah, I'm not a fan of whatever kind of wasps we got around here then. So yeah, well, if they're invasive, then we can get rid of them, right? Quickett said, might as well test it. Bubba said, didn't hear it. Quickett said, can't hear if I heard that alert. Vex says, I couldn't hear anything. Eglin said there was nothing. Oak said it was muted. Quickett said, did you set it to output on audio settings? And Oak said, yeah, it might only be an outputting to you. Yeah, that's the problem. It was, yeah. But I think it's better now. Quickett says, still nothing. Oak said, we heard the end of it. And Eglin said, we heard the tail end of it. And Bubba said, nothing. Eglin said, you might have been mid-switch on that one. Oh, may have been mid-switch on that one. And Oak says, hashtag money back. And Oak says, we need the what happened back. Quickett said, yup. Bubba says, yes. Quickett said, good on our end. And Eglin said, it's loud, but it works. Oak said, it's a bit loud for us too. Let me take a look over at YouTube chat. Let's see, I gotta scroll up just a little bit. Let's see. Reveal it say, or rather, Durbo says, Hover Life, the discontinued VTuber bug branch of cover, in good company with Hollow Stars. Sadly. Hey, the problem is, I can't tell if you're being serious. Because I have thought, like, if I ever became, like, a VTuber, what my theme should be. And I think it's obvious. We've done the praying mantis thing enough times in our community that I'd have to be a praying mantis. So if they had, like, a bug-themed branch, I'd go for that. Rivulet said, genuinely might need bug VTubers. Hey! Not that I'd ever have enough money to buy a rig. Rivulet says, ooh, boy, case 3 time. And Foolsy says, why does Herlock and Wilson look normal instead of like in the game? Well, in the last one, like the opening thing for the Speckled Band was actually an excerpt from a real Sherlock Holmes story. So I assume that, my guess is that within this universe, all of the Sherlock Holmes stories, the actual books and short stories and everything, are more or less exaggerations / corruptions of the real life adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So we're seeing like what the story becomes, and then in the case we'll see what the real adventure was that inspired it, including all of its differences. Toshi says, I love Susato VA. Mike the Trainer says hello. Wait, Mike the Trainer. I'm trying to remember if you've, yeah, I think you're a Mike that's been here before, right? Yeah, because we've had numerous mics. I'm pretty sure I remember you, Mike the Trainer. How are you? Derma says, Britain is the island, so Scotland, England, and Wales. The UK is a political entity, so it includes Northern Ireland. Gotcha. I thought Britain and England were just like different words for the same thing. So Britain is the isle. England is, I gotcha. Okay, thank you, Dermo. I learned something. All right, let's get back into this game here. Once again, let me know if you guys have preferences on the voice for this guy. If I should go back to beef longer. Okay, we gotta present stuff. I gotta show him a badge. Oh, armband. Oh, that's right, because I'm not a student anymore. So I have an armband. An armband I inherited from Kazuma. It identifies the wearer as a defense lawyer throughout the Empire of Japan. Okay, before we do that, I want to see what our conversation options are. London, law student. Can I examine the room? Oh, I can! Oh, yeah, okay. And can I BM around, or do I gotta... Oh, I can. I can look over here a little bit. Let's look at the suit of armor. Look at these menacing metal giants facing each other across the room!
I believe they're suits of armor.
Oh, right. I thought maybe they were like the lion dogs we have in Japan guarding shrine gates.
No, not at all. In fact, in Europe, suits of armor like these are always possessed by evil spirits, you know? And they roam around in the middle of the night.
Really? Is there nothing you don't know, Miss Susato?
This book tells me everything I need to know about everything. If you're ever unsure, just ask.
Where'd she get that incredible tome? It's that suit of armor, possessed, bookcase. Hope the suit can move around, then it could be a mobile suit. Just look at all the naughty, such naughty books. Susato, don't read these books, they're too naughty for you. Don't read naughty books, packed together on these shelves. They go from floor to ceiling.
And they're all books that you couldn't hope to come by in Japan. It's like a dream. I love naughty books. I love smut.
Yes, a very bad dream.
They're not all about British law either. There are books about the judicial systems of other Western nations, France, Germany, Spain, Holland.
What about Russia?
Why do you ask?
I was wondering about asking the Lord Chief Justice how you say wardrobe in Russian. What do you think?
As garderobe, were you not paying attention? We spent hours over the... I think perhaps it's a thought best abandoned.
Like, no, someone in the game, like, I think it was Herlock, told us that it was pronounced garderobe. Gears. Is this some kind of clock?
Actually, I think we might be inside some sort of giant clock. But those gears are larger than anything you'd find on a steam locomotive even.
It's eerie. Do you think clocks are some sort of hobby of his? The Lord Chief Justice. I mean, well, he had a pocket watch, so it's probably, he's on time. He was reminding me of Clock King from Batman. The animated series version specifically, not the actual comic book one.
Well, boys do enjoy fiddling around with machines, don't they?
I'm not sure you could fiddle with cogs that size. I will try, though. I will try. Just give me any. I will fiddle it. I want to fiddle anything. And I'm certain you couldn't call him a boy. His name is Male. Still, it's amazing how little noise the cogs make, considering how large they are. There's actually something quite soothing about their precise rhythm. Yeah, this is much better than talking to the guy who's, because he was here early. Throne, or just chair.
This must be the Lord Chief Justice's desk. I believe it's made of marble.
It's a bad sign if you have that giant of a chair and then just like this large central carpet and stairs leading up to it. It's not practical. Like you'd think you're some kind of king. It looks more like an over-the-top tombstone that's toppled over to me.
I think that's your fanciful imagination at work again, Mr. Naruhodo.
I hope that like by the end of this, they start calling each other by their first names. Like show that they've grown and become friends. It feels like everything that's normally made of wood and paper at home is made of bricks and stone here.
I know, that's why this place feels so overbearing, I'm sure.
Is that everything on this side? Can we move over here? It's just probably the same. Same. Okay, let's show our armband to bro. Check us out. Ha! Lord Stronghart, may I show you this? Check out the gun show and then the band that's on it.
To accept this item, issue a receipt, examine it thoroughly, and make a formal statement of my findings. Would require something in the region of 24 seconds of my time.
Sorry?
Does the item warrant 24 seconds of my time, Mr. Naruhodo?
This conversation's taken more than 24 seconds. Let's leave it for now. Yeah, this guy... But you know, knowing this game series, by the end of it, he will have come to respect us. We will have learned to come to an understanding and see the world through each other's eyeballs. Converse! London.
So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London?
Help! I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city.
simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh.
We had a wonderful view of some of London streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say I'm almost lost for words.
I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded.
Okay, a new thing. I'm noticing he has a cane. I gotta make sure that I don't take anything for granted. It might just be a design choice. It might show that he was shot in the leg at some point, and that'll be important later. I'm gonna read some more comments in the chat because I'm already getting farther and farther behind. Let me first take a look over at YouTube chat. Oak says, Logan is the only one who is supposed to be tortured with volume. I'm almost done with my rewatch of JJB8 Part 5. Quiggin says, also, this case has 2 fun facts attached to it, lol, so not a whole lot to share this time around. Oak says, the ending is not as good as I remember. It's like a 7 out of 10. Magpie says, calm, Magpie flying, and how we doing, chat? How you doing, Magpie? Quiggin said, well, ... unless Logan wants me to name all of the references in a very quick scene in the animated cutscene. Was there, like, lots of references in that? Oak says, the rest of Part 5 is 10 out of 10, but the end feels a bit too power-uppy for me. Says, horses, Steel Ball Run reference. Quiggin said, BRB, gotta shut up, my phone alarm is charging in another room. Let me take a look over at YouTube chat. Oh, I gotta scroll up again. It scrolled without me. Derma said, oh, excuse me, I already read that. Rivulet says, they deal with pests and stuff like how spiders do. Oh, the wasps. You see, here's the thing. There was one time I was staying at this place in California. I may have told this story before. And out in the place that I was staying was like a little guest room thing attached to a larger house. It was just like a tiny little, anyway. So I'd have to exit through the backyard of this house. And when I went out there, they had some cactus plants. And you know how like cactuses in real life don't usually look like in the cartoons? These look like in the cartoons, like a cartoon cat, like the logo of the restaurant Taco Time. Like just the big thing that goes up and has like 2 little arms and then like a central thing. And there was like a big old fat spider, probably about like at least the size of a nickel was its abdomen, big and hairy. And spider webs are another thing. In real life, when you see them, they just look like messy, but not like in cartoons. But these ones look like cartoon spider webs with the concentric circles. It looked like Spider-Man's outfit, like the pattern on his costume. And I saw that, I'm like, oh, that is gross. And it looks like it's probably venomous or something. And I'm gonna be sleeping right in there at night. I'm in a hurry right now. When I get back, I'm probably gonna have to like squish this spider or something because I just don't wanna risk it getting in there and biting me and killing me in the middle of the night. And so I left and then I came back and here's the other thing about spider webs. In real life, I never see stuff caught in them. I came back, it had like 3 yellow jackets in it and was just like tying up one and like going to eat him. Like, you're okay, spider. You get to stay. I love you. He was my best friend there. It was great. Let's see. Rivulet with a message retracted and said, one of my favorite guys. Also wasps also pollinate things. They do? Toshi says, Rio at least studied 1 month before becoming a lawyer. Phoenix learned what victim and witnesses mean in his first trial. I do feel like we're getting much more backstory to build up, even though it's kind of a bit of a stretch to say, like, he got it in 1 month or whatever. That not until the 3rd case is he a lawyer. I feel like this would be about where we would start if this was a Phoenix Wright game. But then, of course, Cosmo would have to die at this point. Rivulet said, the Book of Eternal Knowledge of Past, Present, and Future. Derma said, that kind of office setup is 100% a power play. I know Mussolini had their desks as far away from the door as possible in large rooms to throw around their power. It's like Mussolini had it's like a Mr. Burns office sort of thing in The Simpsons. And then Rivulet said, putting my desk at the end of a maze as a flex. That sounds amazing. Actually, that does sound pretty cool. It might be kind of fun just to go visit the boss for that sake. Let me take a look back at Twitch chat, read a couple more quick comments, and we'll get back into the game. Magpie says, if I remember correctly, they wanted to get Japanese voice actors, but due to COVID, they couldn't, and they didn't want someone to put on a fake Japanese accent, so they used English accent. That makes sense. I think I mentioned this before, very recently, in fact, that for some reason in America, whenever we want to show someone is from a foreign country, we just give them a British accent. It's like we'll do a period piece set in like medieval France, British accents. And so yeah, it's like British just means they're not American. Oak said after part 5, I'll actually finish part 6 and start part 7. That is usually how numbers go. Boba said yeah, and some of the events felt a bit cheap, cough cough, if you know, cough cough. I still haven't watched that part of JoJo, so I don't know. And Quiggin said, never mind, Dad picked it up. All right, let's get back in the game. I need a sip of water first. It's been a half hour. I haven't sipped any. Need a sipple. right, back into the game.
Oh yes, astounded is the word.
Thanks for saving me there, Susato-san.
And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor.
Yes, there is much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we will be hosting here in London.
That's gonna be a magnet for a murder. Somebody's gonna kill somebody trying to steal something. Great exhibition.
Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop.
Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's gonna be.
I like that she's learned the English word gosh.
Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world.
Even if you do say so yourself.
The sun will never set on our great empire. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times, we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun.
Law student! Lord Chief Justice? I think you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you? Why are we even saying this? I'm gonna be totally real here with you. I'm sure that he has never met Kazuma. Even if he has, way back in these olden times, they were probably a lot more openly racist about stuff. He probably can't tell the difference between like two law students from Japan. We could just tell him we're Kazuma. Everything will be fine.
Absolutely. Mr. Kazuma Asogi, if my memory serves.
Unless we send him like a photograph, or a photographic print, as they say in this game. That's right!
The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores.
That's amazing! The news reached him before we even arrived.
My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours.
Oh, thank you!
And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news?
Yes? Well, we are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person.
They tell me you Japanese are a people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that it's true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that I am just awful, old-fashioned racist in this game. Hate Japanese people, I'm sorry.
Don't be like him! Japanese people are wonderful, chat.
That the death of the young lawyer means this study tour arrangement can no longer proceed.
If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart.
What do you have to say, madam?
It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal.
I'm sorry, I'm married. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo?
This is it then. The moment of truth. Continuing the study tour! I'm gonna continue reading the chat first. Let's see. Oak said to Bumble, yeah, it's still good. It just feels a bit standard for JoJo. Bumble said, yeah. Oak said, I'm very excited for part 6. I watched the first batch when it came out, but I've low-key forgotten everything except the 4 lesbians and off to the moon. I didn't think that's what Steel Ball Run is about. Oh, crap! Can you guys hear this?
Oh, okay.
Can you hear this? I can't hear this for some reason. I need to see, this is why all of the settings are weird. I gotta make sure that I change that. Where is it? Overlay Guru.
I shouldn't be happy about this.
Why is it not? There we go, and now I can hear it. Oh, I heard the very tail end. It was the Moroka one. Hey, I am so sorry that everything is just so bad right now. I'm gonna have to, hang on. Let me just make one more quick change to that. And do that. Okay. Thank you, and for all your patience in putting up with the technical difficulties today. Read a couple more quick comments here. And who was, oh, was that Crystal? Was that Crystal doing the shout out? Was that to let me know you're here? Thank you, Crystal, how are you? Let's see, Queen says to Magpie, I was actually about to talk about the voice actors. I'm looking them up right now before my alarm went off. I hate peeps, how you doing? Says, fun fact, in French, Kazuma Asogi is Kyo Nora Sompe. I hope I'm saying that right. This is a pun on qui honore son pays. Literally, to honor his country. Oh, qui honore son... Oh, that's neat! It's like a pun in French. It's kind of like curio correcta. I like that. How you doing, I hate peeps? Magpie says, man, no one slept well, huh? No. I think it was my fault. I did a really hard Sudoku right before bed last night, and I think it just got my brain in a weird, like, number funk. Quick said the best loser is you, Logan. Ah, hey, yay! Oak said Logan didn't consider that he could be our best loser, because I didn't think I was best at anything. Bumbo with a hydrate command. Thank you very much, Bumbo. I'll hydrate. I'll check some comments over on YouTube, and we'll get back at the game. Let's see, over on YouTube. I gotta scroll back up just a little bit. Reviewlet says, a lot of bugs aside from bees can pollinate. Wind can pollinate certain plants. Yeah, but wind doesn't make delicious honey. But that's a good point. Toby says the only reason I like spiders more than wasps is that when the wasps move in, they try to kick me out. How you doing, Toby? Don't let the wasps in. Don't. I do have some rules in my house. Like there are certain rooms, such as the bathroom and around my bed in the bedroom. That's like, I'm sorry, if you're a spider there, like you're gonna get kicked out. You don't get to stay. Derma says, oh gosh, I forgot Americans spell center. I know, because it's not r. We're very literal with our pronunciation. Sometimes, other times we're just messed up with them. Reveal it with a message, deleted by Derma. Oh, was that like a spoiler or something? Okay, let's get back to the game for a bit now. Okay, continuing the study tour. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead?
Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead, but without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done.
Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan? I mean, just like, somebody else maybe in this very room, maybe chatting with you, looking at you right now.
Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country.
Oh, he doesn't know I stowed away. Well, no, I wouldn't even know. I thought he was surprised on the situation. Maybe Hosonaga left that out. It'd be nice. I hope we see Hosonaga again. I hope every chapter he's disguised as something else.
And that was Mr. Asogi. At least, that is what I have been led to understand.
Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. Mr. Naruhodo! I could ruin things right here if I'm not careful. What am I gonna say? Is it gonna give me an option? If there was someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer, it's... I wanna say the wrong thing. I wanna get a bad ending. I wanna get an immediate game over right now. I wanna say it's Susato. I want to say that she's gonna be the lawyer. She's so good at it. It's Miss Susato. It could probably only be yes, Miss Susato.
You forgot that way back in nowadays people are sexist.
An unusual introduction. But I presume you mean this charming lady beside you. You're a lawyer, are you?
That look she's giving me. After all the days of hard work she put into helping me study. What look? She has no expression. She's just... I can't let her down now. I think that's quite enough joking. Oh, don't you? Lord Strongheart, my real answer is it's me. I could do it. Okay, so we didn't get a penalty. We didn't get an achievement either, but I think it was worth it.
Is that so?
I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but,
No qualifications, you say? And yet, you still claim to be a lawyer?
I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Kazuma to help me, and I was the accused. Not glossing over the details. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was aboard the SS Brilliant. Why are we letting him know it's in such a narrow window? Why not just say I've studied all these things? Don't tell him how briefly it was.
The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training.
I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here on this study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking for. Please.
31 seconds.
Sorry?
Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer.
Oh! Thanks.
So you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment.
Huh?
But let me ask you one thing first, sir.
Yes?
You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path?
Was he? Okay, because he had some unfinished business here. He implied as much before. Does Strongheart know about that? Are we going to take revenge on somebody? I'm going to read a couple more comments in the chat. See, Eglin says, someone left heaters on in my house. Mid-90-degree weather, by the way, so I was suffocating in hot air all of last night. Were you not able to turn them off? I'm sorry, Eglin, that sounds awful. Oak said, why is it 450 points, even if it couldn't be an even 500? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I feel like it should keep ratcheting up the longer your streak is. Quiggin says, voice facts. Susato and Ryunosuke are voiced in English by real, actual Japanese VAs. Ryunosuke is voiced by Mark Ota, an actor of German and Japanese descent. Susato is voiced by Rina Takasaki, a Japanese actress. Both actors are based in London, so honestly, this was a perfect match for characters to voice. I mean, that makes sense why they had the accents then. So thank you, Queen Katie. Eglin said it, now it's a solid 20 degrees. Weather sucks. Wait, now it's like below freezing? Queen said, apparently there was a curse that passed through. Oak said, I feel like it should give 50... I feel like it should give like 50 points and you get an extra 50 each 5 days of the week. Yeah. Oak says maybe cap out at like 1K or 5K or something. Peep says, fun fact, in English, Ryunosuke and Kazuma speak with a proper accent since they studied at their university. However, Susato studied at home with essays and books, so her accent is not as refined. Ooh, that's a neat detail. And Oak said, or just do 500, give 5K as a bonus every 50 days. That works too. Let me take a look over at YouTube chat. Frilzy says, did Logan not realize he got a shout out? Yeah, I'm sorry. I had the monitor turned off on that, so I couldn't hear it. I was probably talking over it. I'm sorry. Said it's very quiet. Well, the next few streams, I think we're gonna have to be writing these sound alerts because part of the problem is I literally cannot test these things out Some of them I can, but a lot of them I cannot test out when I'm not on stream. Especially like any shout out or not, excuse me, shout out, any sound alert or alert at all that has a cooldown. Like if I try and do that, I should probably just turn off the cooldowns. Maybe then I could try, but I don't know. Let's see, and Derma says, Number Funk, my favorite math rock band. You know what? That's a good band name. I would take that. And Derma says, it's French, 3. I believe the word you're looking for is toi. Frucy says, if center is centra, then is spelled rem? That is something you gotta get used to, because I do feel like in England, you get more as opposed to and Derma says, Fruzy, it's not it's tra, like tre. So no, rem doesn't work, so centre. And Rivula says, I mean, she was a judicial assistant back in case 2. I mean, like an unofficial one. You remember that Winston Payne, what was his name? Ouchie. That he was all sexist. He's like, women can't be assistants. Let's play a little bit more of the game now, shall we? I'm gonna have another sip of water first. I don't know why. Even though I didn't sleep well last night, I'm in a good mood to see all you guys. I played a little tiny bit of Tomodachi Life. I have 5 Islanders now. I'm getting there. The 5th one I added was Gundam Tanaka from Danganronpa 2. All right, let's keep going. Well, yes, that's my intention.
I see.
Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden? Maybe Strongheart did something bad to Kazuma or to somebody in Kazuma's family, and Kazuma was coming here to get revenge on him, and Strongheart knows about it, but just, I don't know, likes a challenge and was like, yeah, welcome, like, bring it on. And so he's asking that because he knows that the two of us will come to blows against it. I'm probably reading too much into the situation, but I'm trying to find some drama.
Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you.
Really? Test! So, what form will the test take? Exactly, I hope it's multiple choice.
Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be?
Well, defending people, of course.
Well said. So, let's have you defend someone.
I hope he, like, picks someone who actually did the crime. Huh? Crank, 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 crank.
Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be welcome news.
Today? Straight away? Not gay away? I mean, I've heard what the lawyers are like in this game.
If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler?
Oh, how do I get myself into these situations?
Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart?
It's gonna be murder, yeah? They're always murder. Except there's the one time that it wasn't murder in Ace Attorney 2, I think. It was Injustice for All, but then it ended up being murder.
Yes, good question. Haha, I remember. It's a murder trial.
Murder?
An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose.
That's easy to say.
But I should mention, just in case. If the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment.
Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? No. He'll just be spanked at the Capitol.
Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception.
Okay, this period of time in Japan, did they not have, like, capital punishment? Is that like a new concept? I honestly don't know.
Presumably you read that much in your short C-based introduction to British law.
We can't possibly agree to such a test. We would be toying with a man's life.
I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I have decided it's acceptable.
But you can't do that, can you? This is interesting. So he seems to be in more of the antagonist role that the prosecutor usually takes. Is the prosecutor gonna be more of a friend? And Strongheart's gonna be the one that has the redemption arc?
There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose.
So the defendant may live or die, depending on how well I perform in court? If I lose, he'll be hanged.
It's okay. This man is well endowed. He's very well hung. Hanged, hung. Literal gallows humor. Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen.
He's testing my resolve.
What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be?
Are we gonna go straight in the trial? That would be nice, because the last chapter was nothing but investigating. I mean, it's always a bit bullcrap when we just get there and we don't even know what's happening, but it'd be nice just for the sake of pacing if we go right into a trial. What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? Yeah! Yeah. I mean, illusion of choice. They won't let me if I say no. It's like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it to it. All right, then. If I have to give you a decision now, my answer is oh, I can't do it. I can't get the words out. Was it the illusion of choice the other direction?
15 seconds. Your decision-making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow.
Huh?
So, it's as I suspected, is it?
Sorry?
You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over.
Huh? Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance.
Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm sorry, Miss Susato. But what could I do?
It's all right. I understand.
You do?
It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. But resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it.
What are you trying to say, madam?
So she's gonna convince him that it's okay, all right. Just let Susato do all the work here. I'm gonna read a couple more comments in the chat. Let's see. Quita said, Chad, we're gonna get a name fact. ASAP lol said, if Logan thinks the same thing I did when this game was first revealed in Japan about this guy. Oak says, brief. Eglin said, he kind of reminds me of Keith from Date Everything Crap. Which one was Keith? I don't remember like a lot of the names unless the names sounded exactly like the thing they were. Which one was Keith? Eglin. Quita says, his name in the Japanese version is Heart Vortex. Ooh, very interesting. In both Japanese and English, his name is a play on the phrase Heart of the Vortex. Maelstrom! Hey! Like I said, Maelstrom! I've heard Heart of the Storm. I never think of Heart of the Vortex very much. Interesting, though. Magpie says, I really like the second one. That's the one we've been doing, right? Eglin said, also, Logan, if you want to know what was my first impression when I first saw this character, let me know, because I already know exactly the thing to say that'll get you to see the same thing. Let's hear it. I want to know what your first impression was. Oak said, I just imagined the universe where Prince Paul didn't misspell Beefy Logan, and we still live in a world where everyone calls Logan the correct name, and there's no lore about various meat-named characters with Dragon Ball hair and rice grains stuck to their face. What a worse world that'd be. Said would be the worst thing ever. And Oak says, add quote, I love smut. That was Susato saying that. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Scroll up just a little bit. Let's see. Haruko_key says, La, Haruko, are you new? Welcome. I don't know if you're still in the chat because it's been a little while since I've checked YouTube chat, but hi. Oh, wait, no, not Haruko, sorry. Haruo. I'm sorry I said that wrong. I don't know why I hallucinated a K in there. Haruo. Welcome, Haruo. My name is Logan. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. This is right now the main game that we're playing, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're alternating with some shorter games. Like right now, we're also playing Batman the Telltale series. We're probably going to finish that up on the first season of it up on Tuesday. I think we might take a break before the second season of it, but I am enjoying it. So we'll post on Discord tomorrow what the schedule is going to be. Still deciding what I'm going to do after that. But speaking of Discord, let me also, I should do this periodically, paste our link tree over into the YouTube chat. Feel free to check us out if you feel so inclined, and if you're still in the chat. It has our Discord invite, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all that stuff. Check it out or ignore it, no pressure. But yeah, if you're new, other types of games we played in the past include Danganronpa, Persona, Deltarune, Omori. We even recently have tried some Telltale games like The Walking Dead, and I read every comment in chat. I'm just always a little bit behind. I'm usually closer to caught up in YouTube, but welcome, Haruo. Rivulet says, that was Trials and Tribulations with the Stolen Tournament. Okay, thank you. I got it mixed up then. So thank you, Rivulet. Toby says, imagine if Strongheart just accused Ryunosuke of a random murder to give him a test. You know what? I think he ought to accuse Susato. It should be a Maya Fey situation. Oh, unless he's just he is our Maya Fey in this. Yeah, yes, Toby. Derma says, Toby, that would be incredible. Toby said, or even better, he just kills someone in front of us and accuses Ryu. I love it. Derma says, isn't it Eye of the Storm? That's what I was thought, Eye of the Storm. But maybe some people in other countries, maybe they say vortex or something like that. And Derma said, imagine a world without white square, white square, white square. Here's the worst part about that is, okay, so I always upload all my TikToks with a scheduling feature on desktop. And when you do it that way, you can add more than 5 hashtags, which is really nice for discoverability. But I just noticed that white square one has a typo in the caption. I left out the A in the word square. It says square. And the only way to edit that is within a week after you post, but you have to use the app. And if you use the app, then when you edit it, you have to take it down to only 5 hashtags again. So I'm gonna have to do that. I'm very sad about it though, Derma. But that was my favorite and the greatest ever. However, the day after that, what day was it? Yesterday. No, yeah, yesterday. Yesterday I posted on a TikTok that I was very nervous about because it's like the most emotionally vulnerable TikTok video I think I have ever posted and probably ever will post, because it was the ending of The Walking Dead. It's not our final Walking Dead video. The final one is going to be tomorrow. But yeah, it was like my reaction to the big twist at the end. And I had to shorten it because like it can only be 3 minutes. So you don't see me getting all as emotional as you could, but yes. Anyway, let me get a sip of water. We'll get back into this.
What are you trying to say, madam?
Huh? I think what Miss Susato means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable. And I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice.
Wait, Mr. Naruhodo.
Huh? Oh, was there something else? He was impressed by us being a stickler for morale. Okay, so maybe he's not such a bad guy after all.
It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time.
But I just said that...
I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him.
What?
At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome.
Okay, this is a bit of a stretch, but it's a good explanation for why I would agree to this then.
He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down.
I hope Strongheart's the judge. He just gets there and he's like ready to do it. And then no, I guess I shouldn't. I should hope it's a judgy ancestor. But that's awful.
But that is the truth.
Why does it have to be like this?
The defendant just like smell really bad and lawyers don't want to be around him?
Please don't expect an answer to every question.
Huh?
The cold, hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you.
Huh? I'm really his only hope?
So, what do you say now, madam?
Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
You're clearly the one who wears the pants in this relationship. I just see no point in talking to him. You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve.
Oh.
Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves.
He's gone.
Huh. The Old Bailey. So we gotta rush over there.
If we're gonna do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once!
I must read some chat at once. Let's see, Magpie says, big fan of the Batman the Animated Series Clock King. He's neat. He's an example of one of those villains that the animated series infinitely improved upon. I mean, the like biggest example is obviously Mr. Freeze. Like they revolutionized his character, but Clock King as well. I mean, his costume was very simple, but the name is a bit much. Isn't it Temple Fugit or something like that? But he's fun. Because like the Clock King in the comics is like, okay, whatever. Magpie says, I really like how Ryunosuke keeps calling her Miss Susato. It's cute. I just wish they would choose, is it Miss Susato or Susato-san? Is it Mr. Naruhodo or, Mr. Naruhodo or Naruhodo-san? I don't like that they keep switching back and forth between it. That's my only complaint. I wish there was some consistency. Like maybe even it was just something like use Mr. and Miss when you're around English speakers and switch to san when it's just the two of you. But as you can see here they're alone and she's still doing the Mr. thing. Magpie says, Susato is such an English major. She may not actually be one, but she is at heart. Carries around a reference book everywhere, takes good notes, and only an English major can write a whole essay about how they're lost for words. Yep, according to the wiki, there was a ton of Monty Python references in the animated cutscene as the duo was passing through town. Really? Monty Python references? I missed those. They must have gone right over my head. Was there a tobacconist that a guy walked into with a Hungarian phrase book or something like that? I need to know what these things were. Magpie says, wait, for real, that's hilarious. Vex says, you should put those somewhere. Vex says, I love Monty Python. W Spider. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Reveal it says white score. Derma says white score, white score, white score. Love the idea of Strongheart being judge, jury, and executioner, literally. And you could just say it would probably save them a lot of budget. You know, you don't have to have separate assets for different characters. Don't have to have a separate judge. It's just him up there. I may be a very imposing judge, but wait, did he say what his appointment was? Would it be great if, like, that's why he was leaving? That he wants to take a separate carriage to get there and we're gonna arrive and he's gonna be up on the stand or something? Bubble says, that web might have been an orb weaver. As far as I know, those circular webs are often made by them. Oh, I'd have to look up what an orb weaver looked like. In fact, let me check that right now. Orb weaver, because this was like a... Oh... That might be it, actually. Well, here's the thing. I'm seeing like 4 different pictures show up, and one of them looks very similar to what it was, so it might be. Are orb weavers poisonous? Are they, or venomous, I guess is probably the correct term. Quicken said, I'm gonna post the image in the Discord for those interested. The image has been posted. I don't know anything about Monty, so y'all can pick the references for yourself in Ace Attorney channel. I mean, okay, so hang on. We gotta pause that. I gotta take a look at this picture. I don't have an asset in OBS for Discord right now, so I'm gonna have to put. Wait, why is it not showing up? Oh, there we go. Okay, so, all right, we got a picture here. Oh, I see one of them here. Here, look down the corner. We got a tailor named Cleese and Palin. John Cleese and Michael Palin are 2 members of Monty Python. So that's neat. Officers to the left, something soaps. London King. Oh, here we go. Terry's lever watches? I assume that maybe is a reference to Terry Gilliam. Why isn't it focusing? It says Terry's lever watches. Let me see if we can find any other Monty Python references here. Brian's Cocoa. Crap, was there a Monty Python character, or not character, actor named... Oh, you know what is Brian's Cocoa? It on the thing is probably, I'm guessing it's he's not showing it, but it says it's Brian's Cocoa on there. It's probably a reference to The Life of Brian, which was a Monty Python movie. The Center of the World? Piccadilly Pavilion. Okay, some of these are going over my head, but okay, so I'm recognizing a few of those. All right, let me read a couple more really quick comments and we will get back in the chat. Lurkers, I promise, we do play some game eventually, but really the game is mostly an excuse for me to hang out with people. Let's see, there was Crystal doing the shout out, so I finally reached where Crystal arrived. Thank you, Crystal. Queen said, Crystal said, lurk in class. Thank you for the lurk. Oak says, add quote, I love smut. That's what Susato said. Queen said, good luck with class. Crystal adds the quote. Queen said, well, now we know that clip was not loud. Crystal says, Logan, notice your clip's laughing. Queen said, hey, Logan, we did a clip shout out for you. Got no audio there. Crystal says, it has audio, but it's very, very low. Neon says, I can hear it very quietly. Queen says, all hail Crystal. And then Crystal says, okay, I go back to class. Neon says, Logan, not being able to sleep because of a difficult Sudoku puzzle sounds a bit like a 90s Cartoon Network show. No, okay. I was a new type of Sudoku, well, new to me, a new type of Sudoku that I had never seen before called Search 9 Sudoku, where you have like little arrows on it, where the number for that one is how many spaces away it is from a 9 in a certain direction. And so they give you hardly any numbers. And it was just like, I saw it and I'm like, this seems interesting. I must do it. But I was like having to wrap my brain around like a completely different way of doing it. And so I've had that before. Sometimes if I like play a video game a ton right before bed, or if I read a book a ton right before bed, or like do a puzzle a ton right before bed, then my brain is like too on fire about that thing to just stop focusing and sleep, if that makes sense. Queen said, go to nap. Ice cream. Enjoy your ice cream, Queen Katie. And over on YouTube, Dermot says, also, it's the Gillian Theater. Terry Gillian. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, Terry Gillian. Nice. I like that. I like all that stuff. It's neat. I thought they'd be more references to like Monty Python sketches, as opposed. I guess The Life of Brian was one of their movies, but maybe there's more other things in there. But I like that. And that was just like one shot. Were there others in like the various other cuts, or is it just the background pieces? Okay, let's get back into the game.
If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once.
Now I'm gonna present my armband to you, girl. Present. Miss Susato, can I just ask you something? I like how immediately he's like,
Why are you talking to me? Careful! From this position, I can perform a Susato takedown in an instant!
I know!
Mr. Naruhodo, you heard Lord Strongheart. The trial starts imminently. If I need to throw you, I will! I will throw you all the way there.
You know, you could just say, I think we should hurry to the courtroom.
I did say that, and you're ignoring me. You're showing me an armband. If you need to ask me anything, it had better wait until we're at the Old Bailey.
Can I talk to you? Can I converse? What to do? What we do? What do we do, Susato? Miss Susato, can I just ask? Oh, it's the same thing as presenting something. Okay. So we'll have to present the armband to her later when we're not in a hurry. Can we examine anything? Is anything unchecked? Oh, look at the throne is now unchecked. Oh, it's the same dialogue. Crap! I thought there was gonna be a bit more variety. Okay, she's probably getting tired of telling me the same thing over and over again. Well, let's get out of here. Move! Old Bailey. Oh, what are we here? The Office of Lord Chief Justice Strongheart in Britain's great capital city, London. Its grand stone architecture and the echoey tick of the vast cogwheels lend it an air of authority.
The oppressive air. It's really quite stifling.
The Old Bailey. Ah, never eat soggy waffles. London's highest criminal court with an illustrious past. The Old Bailey. This is where I'm to take my test and prove my worthiness as a lawyer.
If we hurry and catch a cab, we may just make it to the courthouse on time.
All right, let's go. Move. Old Bailey. Old Bailey money loan or whatever it's called.
18th February, 9:45 a.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber.
So I guess we made it with like 15 minutes to spare or something. Or maybe we're like 10 minutes late.
Oh, thank goodness we're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins.
Okay, so maybe we can at least meet our client? I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were gonna rattle loose.
Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Huh. Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It was a guinea pig. I smuggled a guinea pig. He has a pet. I gifted him a responsibility. It's one of my favorite lines from the Herlock Sholmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly. I love that we're still so influenced by this game does feel like the Capcom wanted to make a Sherlock Holmes game. And we're like, oh, we can't. Oh, let's just do an Ace Attorney game and make it the stealth Sherlock Holmes. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were gonna die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started.
Yes, I suppose there's that.
Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I wasn't looking at chat. I see we have a pinned message over on Twitch, written by Queen Katie, pinned by Vero! Vero, when did you get here? Vero! Okay, the pinned message, this looks like it's a trivia fact about the Old Bailey. It said the Old Bailey is based on the real-life Central Criminal Court of England and Wales, which is commonly referred to as the Old Bailey after the street on which it is. Ah, whoa!
You'll never catch me sneaking into chat.
That's our first TTS of the night. Okay, I gotta crank down the volume on that one. I gotta turn on the volume on that one. That was way too loud. That was way too loud. That was way too loud. Oh crap, that was way too loud. Oh wow, that was loud. Okay, crap. Hang on. I gotta find that. Wait, which extension do I use for the TTS? No. Hang on. Wow, I think it is. It's not that one. It's not that one. I think it's this one. Let's try taking that down a little bit. Let's try that. See if that's a little bit better. Okay. Wow, that was so loud. Oh my gosh, that was loud. But yes, let me finish reading this pin message. Thank you. Vera, what were you saying? Never catch me sneaking into chat. Well, because you do it so stealthy. You're so sneaky and quiet. We gotta like put a bell on you or something like that. But welcome, Vero! Did you see the new Transformers reveals? They revealed new versions of that they're releasing of Cliffjumper, Cyclonus, and Blitzwing, and the Cyclonus looks really good. I think I may have to get a new Cyclonus. I've already got Cyclonus, but I think I may need to replace him with another one. Anyway, Quick is saying the pin message. The Old Bailey has existed in the same location since the 16th century, albeit in a succession of different buildings, with the current structure being completed in 1902. So basically, so the Old Bailey is a real thing. So it's not like a made-up thing. They're like, it's a real thing. Interesting. I dig it. I did not know that. But thank you very much, Queen Katie, and thank you, Vera, for the 10 bits. Thank you. Okay.
The court clerk and the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all.
Huh? So this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait in is grand.
Are you all right, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'd like to think that like none of the rooms in the Old Bailey from this time period look anything like this, but they just have to lay it out to look the same as the defendant lobby in the other Ace Attorney games, but just with like textural differences. I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed.
Yes. Whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment.
Top of the morning to you, madam, sir. Okay, so it's an Irishman. Top of the morning to you. Hi, shush. Magpie, Vex! Jervis Tech is here. It's the Mad Hatter. What are you doing following me here? Tings are a fair desperate, are they? I like that they're typing it in an Irish accent with tings instead of things and stuff like that. Yay! All right, we were defending a little purple leprechaun. I'm glad that he spoke first. Like, look at this guy. He just looks like a really short Willy Wonka. Okay. Oh, we got a pin message from Quick 80 saying perfect voice. Yay! Well, I mean, it's not giving me much choice. I'm gonna read a couple comments in the chat though. Let's see. Queen Katie says, I have ice cream. Vero says, oh, thank goodness. He's still at Strong Hearts. So was there something that you're going to miss out that you didn't want to miss here, Vero? Oak says, Vero. Oak says, I just made Bebe from Persona 3 in Tomodachi Life. So excited to make him say Subarashi and I'll be back all the time. Vero said, hello. I went back to sleep on accident. On accident. I think he's in the Transformers channel. One of the channels you said you were going to go back to sleep. I don't think it was on accident. Oh, crap. It's still loud.
I needed to see this man.
Why is that so loud? I turned it down. Hang on. Crap, that was a lot. Oh, that was a lot. Wow. Avira said now it's louder on our end somehow? Let me see what happened. Oh crap. I accidentally went up 5 decibels instead of down. That's why. I'm dumb. Okay. I think when I tried to highlight the Thank you for the 10 bits. Thank you. Wow. That woke me up. Ha. Wow. Hi. Whoa. Okay, what was I reading chat? Was I playing game? I don't even know. Let's see. Quick said Vero, and Oak says, ooh, I must see your Gundam Tanaka. It's okay. I'm still getting the hang of face paint and everything. I can post it maybe over in, here, hang on. I might be able to show you guys. You guys want to pause for just a quick second? You want me to show you my Tomodachi Life characters? I know you lurkers that don't care about this. You only care about Ace Attorney, because why would you care about anything else like this? But I've been taking little video clips that I've been capturing video clips to make screenshots so I don't have to take photos, and I can probably use the clip viewer. Okay, hang on. I got to pause that there and mute that because that was making Tomodachi sounds. And I'll show you guys my... Here we are! Okay, I'm going to show you the clip viewer. Hopefully this will work. Let's see. Hang on. Let me see if I can center this a bit. There we go! This is telling me that I got another one. So this is everybody. So we got Oh, you can see my cursor. That's me. I'm working on a transformer. I got the line work and the flats. I gotta add. I gotta clean up the lines, smooth them out a bit, add some shading and highlights. This is supposed to be Chie. I'm probably gonna need to do like full on face paint for her. I got Gundam Tanaka. I couldn't get his swirl to go very high because like the face paint like cuts off just above the head. I don't know if you can tell with the lighting because it's very bright here, but I've got like the scar over, not the scar. I think it's a scar. I don't know if it's a scar or makeup over his eye and everything. And then little Gallica. Wait, hang on. Oak, why are you asking about Gundam Tanaka? You haven't played Danganronpa 2. But thank you. There it is. I hope you approve. Let's play a little bit of the game and I'll be back to the chat in just a moment here. What are you? Oh, it's Yus. What are you doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, are they? Sorry? Would you look at those expressionless faces from the east, Arius? Okay, I should ask. Dermo, you probably find this a terribly offensive stereotype. With an Irish accent, how's it? Is it Yus? Yus or Yus? How do you pronounce that? Yus. Yus. Arius. We're from Japan. Yeah, I've never heard that for an Irish accent. Use. Japan, is it right? Say no more. So, how much do you need? Is he offering us a bribe? I mean, maybe payment, because we are his lawyer. Okay, No, we're just here because, wait, what? Hang on. We're from Japan. Japan, is it right? Say no more, how much do you need? What? No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all while in a strange, faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. Tis grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. Okay, is it just to be nice? 1,000 guineas? Wait, was there something else before she took over? Oh, just Rita's gonna. Please, Mr. Sato, you don't have to shout.
But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo.
What? I didn't know exchange rates. Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. This guy's interesting. I'm gonna read some more comments in the chat. Dermo, I'm so sorry if this is, I mean, keep in mind, I am, like, of Irish descent. I have dual citizenship, so I think I'm allowed to do Irish stereotypes. I think. But I'm gonna read some more in the chat. Let's see, Veer says, never in my life did I think beef sounded cool up until now. Well, I tried beef at first, and so at first he was like this. Then we brought it down here. It's much more like, the voice I was doing I was trying to do the Detective Dowd. What is it, Dowd or Jowd? Dowd or Jowd from a Ghost Trick. You guys remember him? Whatever the voice was we did for him? Still kind of loud.
1 guinea equaled 21 shillings, or £1 and 5 pence, so 1,000 guineas was exactly 1,050 pounds. Or so says Google. This was back in 1920 or so.
Okay, so like, yeah, back then that would have been a ton of money. Plus, like, I don't know what Japan's economy was like then or anything, but I have like seen people post online sometimes, like houses, like they'll show you small, very small houses in Japan that you can buy for like under $10,000 American. And a lot of them are probably like massive fixer-uppers, but it's just kind of like, oh wow, housing isn't so expensive, which is crazy because like it's a small island. You'd think it'd be more like land, it'd be more valuable, but maybe it's because it's small. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. Thank you. Let me take a look over to YouTube chat. Let's see. Rivulet says, rotate him. Oh, we almost got rotated again. Derma says, I respond to the scene and a bit better, parentheses not in the screenshot. You've got Idle and Jones. Oh, the Eric Idle and Terry Jones, the other members of it. Nice, Idle and Jones. Dermot says, oh gosh, oh no, nobody has ever ... I mean, ever used the phrase top of the morning in Ireland. It's up with the phrase, I'm walking here, with phrases never used. Don't they use that in New York? I'm walking here. What about Faith Bagora? Because that's the other one I was here for Irish. Top of the morning, oh, Faith Bagora. Toshi says, so cute. Dermot says, one, and thank you. Oh, Toshi, we're talking about the Tomodachi Life Islanders. Thank you. Dermot says, one, depends. What Irish accent are you going for? There's one for all 32 counties? Kind of like saying, what's an American accent? I didn't know there were 32 different, because like there's some that I like can't even understand at all. And Dermot said, two, if I had some advice, put less energy into it. The pronunciation isn't terrible, but it's not nearly that melodic. The problem is if I don't do it melodic, I slowly morph into Scottish, I think. But okay, I'll try to be a bit less sing-songy. We'll see how it goes. I'll try it. I may go back to it though. But thank you very much, Dermo. Thank you. Let's see. Where did I leave off over on Twitch chat? Bumbo says, key dude. And Magpie says, heart vortex. A heart is a deer. Oh, H-A-R-T. A heart is a deer. A vortex like a tornado. So his name is like a carousel. El Tornada de Caballo. Did I say that right? I probably shouldn't try to say things in other languages because it could be swears. So I like that. So it's also a level with like a deer. Queen says, okay, Logan, listen to me. Picture Strongheart. With pink glass. Oh, he's Damon Gant. He's totally Damon Gant, isn't he? Hang on. I gotta pull up the court record. Is he in our court record? Kinda, right? He's a little Damon Gant. Yeah, I can see that. Can we say that he's, I guess Damon Gant though was supposed to be Japanese, so it'd be unlikely that he's like his ancestor. But let's read our little bios for these two here. A judicial assistant sent to Britain on study tour. She's the epitome of a fine Japanese lady, a huge help for me always. The Lord Chief Justice, who wields absolute authority in judicial matters, including the appointment of lawyers. He's a thoroughly intimidating man. All right, let me have a sip of water. Let's get back into this. I wonder if I should have done the Damon Gant voice instead. I wonder if I can still do the Damon Gant voice. Next time we see him, like, we can try it out and see how it goes. It's very similar to the Jowd voice. So sing-song was tid nothing to me at all. Tid nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I've enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ow, that hit me in the eye! Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you, no strings attached. I'll be waiting you to do something for me. I'll be wanting you to do something for me. Oh? To be honest, 'tis a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me good self here. I'll be in the dock. Huh? So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, is he gonna try and defend himself? Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial is gonna start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up.
I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial?
Oh, wrong eyebrow. Crap, I can't lift up. I'm much better at lifting up my right eyebrow than my left. Can we just like mirror image me to look like him? Oh. Bluster and blazes! Do yous not know who I am? Me? One of London's biggest names! No, sorry, we've only just arrived in the city, you see. I see.
I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the centre of London. The centre of London is another beautiful park. Sorry? A park? What? 'Tis called McGilded Park. Full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did.
Ah, an entire park in central London?
A city of smiles, that's me vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wasn't over the city and its queer old people.
Queer? What does queer mean? Is that a way of saying queer? I need to Google that. Queer. Definition. Queer. Queer is a dialectal variant of the word queer, which back then would mean unusual. Like it says here, strange, odd, or peculiar. Or maybe this is all gay. I don't know. So his name is Magnus McGilded. So McGilded, I'm gonna take a guess at the name here. So McGilded, obviously to gild something, you can gild something with gold. It's like coat it in gold. So gilded, like a gilded cage. So gilded implies gold, and Mick obviously is more of like a Celtic sort of a thing, but it's also making me think of like Scrooge McDuck. It gives you a sense of richness. Magnus, I'm gonna say is maybe a play on the word magnanimous. Because, I don't know, Magnus always makes me think of magnets, but this guy, because he's giving away money to everybody, so he's very magnanimous. He's very philanthropic? Would that be the right word? And just on cue, I look over and on Twitch, there is a pinned message. I'm assuming this is gonna be a name fact from Queen Katie, saying his Japanese name is Cosney Magundal, which is a play on the Japanese phrase Kozeni Megundaru, which is in the Kansai dialect and translates as, I'll spare you some change. Oh, that's cool. That's neat. It doesn't sound Irish. I mean, you could, if you kind of blur your ears a little bit, maybe. His English given name, Magnus, may be a play on magnanimous, which means to be kind and charitable towards the less fortunate, or magnate, a wealthy and powerful businessman. Okay, that also makes sense. I hadn't considered that, so magnate as well. It works both ways. His English surname, McGilded, contains the word gilded, which can be used to mean rich or privileged. Yeah, because like I said, to gild something, you gild something with like gold, so that does make sense. I like it. Thank you very much, Queen Katie. I'm gonna read a couple more really quick comments here. Queen Katie says, okay, Logan, listen to me. I read that. Neon says, oh, snap. Eglin says, ah, yes. Horse tornado. Magpie says, I love the horse tornadoes. Like, oh, it's spinning around so much. Queen Katie said to Vero, can you pin stuff at the moment? Vera says, let me get up. Said, maybe as soon as we make it to court. Queen Katie with a salute. Magpie with a hydrate command. I'll do that right now. Thank you very much, Magpie. Honestly, this is probably a record for a chapter that we're less than 2 hours into stream. We're already about to start a trial. Vera says, I think Squirr makes it charming. Well, I just want people to be able to find it, you know? Because what if it takes off? What if it goes viral and someone's like, I want to find that Logan Robo clip about White Square. Types in Logan Robo White Square. And the algorithm's like, well, I don't know what that is. It's got a White Squirr video, but that's not what this is. So I'm not going to show it to you. I don't know how it works. Squeaky with the timestamp, 1 hour, 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, I'm a little over a half hour behind on Twitch. Over on YouTube, I got to scroll up just a little bit. Dermo says, honestly, Scottish and Irish accents are quite similar, even if it morphs into that. It's still cool, still close enough. I think, like, what I have to do, it's gonna sound weird, because it plays into stereotypes, but if I try to, like anytime I do one of them, just like as a normal voice, it just, like, goes back and forth. And if I want to try and reset it toward Irish, I gotta go all sing-songy there like that. And if I want to take it over to Scottish, I usually get really angry like that. So, yeah. It's probably bad, but it's the only thing I can do. Derma says, yes, the lower accent is much, much better. It's pretty good. Oh, thank you. Toshi said, you look exactly like him. You just need blue hair and pronouns. John Alonzi says in all caps, this is one of my favorite case. Well, then you're just in time, John Alonzi. Derma says, fun fact, I know a person who works in an archive, and in their LGBT section, there's an old Irish gay paper called Queer Times. Also, the folk song queer things in Dublin, it's not uncommon. This is news to me. I did not know any of this. Enderwa says, queer is greater than queer. It's more fun to say. I think that there are fewer puns, though, because I like how a question is a query. Could you do a query? Is that a thing? Okay. Let's play a little bit more, and I'll be back to both chats soon. There's nothing, Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. This feels like, it feels too good to be true that he's this generous. I feel like as the trial proceeds, we're gonna find out he's not as good as he lets on. Oh, see? But... No, they've got the gall to say I'm a no-good-for-nothing criminal! Me, Magnus McGilded! What's the matter with the London police, I ask ya? Right, don't pass out!
Mr. Naruhodo! Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath.
Good idea! Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best. What was I saying? What was I after saying? You daft Egypt. What is spelling for Egypt? I don't know if I've seen it spelled before. Yeah. For those who don't know, it was an idiot. I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. Oh, I think I know what's going on here. Sorry? I know what you're thinking. This chancer of a fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did it, that's the only explanation. Well... can we say exactly? I mean, I don't see a hit points up, so I think we can be a little bit of a jerk to him. I mean, that is sort of the implication that either he did it or just everyone hates him, but he's very generous, so why would they? Exactly. Yes, exactly. What now? Well, like you said, if you have all that money, but you don't have anyone to represent you in court, there's no other logical conclusion than that you're guilty of the charges. You call a spade in the East, so you do. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean any offense. I still can't express myself very well in English, you see. And if I'm never sure what's acceptable to say and what isn't, so... Is that so? Because you sounded fluent enough when you were telling me what the blackguard I must be. I'm terribly sorry. I can't say that I blame you for thinking it, fella. It's a little strange, to be honest. Why don't you have a lawyer? I mean... That would be the fault of the Reaper. The Grim Reaper did it? Maury Calliope's gonna be in this? Sorry? Did he just say Reaper? Oh, Shinigami. I, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Baroque von Zykes. He's the prosecutor. Oh! Van's... Chad, are we gonna have another German prosecutor? Is this a thing? Are they seriously triple dipping into the German prosecutor pool here. Lord Barack Van Zykes. Okay, do we need name fact? Honestly, it just sounds German. Barack Obama Von Zykes. I guess instead of a German name, I could try and do my best Barack Obama impression. I can't do a Barack Obama impression. I can't. I just tried there and I immediately regretted it. Lord, is it Baroque? Maybe it's a pun on Baroque. Maybe he's broken. He's a Baroque, Barack, whatever. Is it Zykes or Zeeks? I honestly don't know German pronunciation for the IE sound. Oh, crap. If only Kim was here. Zykes or Zeeks? Okay, I need to read some chat while I figure this out. Let's see, over on Twitch, Vero says, did you guys know Strongheart saves orphans and feeds small animals on the street? He seems like such a nice guy, but only does it if there's enough time. Magpie says, Van Zeeks, I think. No, he's not German. Magpie, Magpie, in our playthrough, he's gonna be German. He's gonna totally be German. If he's a German, what is he? Then Van Zeeks. Well, what nationality of origin is that from? But I don't know. I just Vaughn. I don't know these things. Queen said, by the way, Logan, I should say you did it again. You made me choke on ice cream again. This time it was a popsicle stick, so that was literally a choking hazard. Congrats, sir. From something I said that was funny, or did I guess something with? I haven't been paying attention to what I've been saying. Queen said, oh wait, Logan can't picture a Strongheart with pink glasses anymore. The man's gone. No, I'm seeing it though now. Magpie says, Logan, that is what's happening when they're talking exclusively to each other. Japanese speakers, they use san, but when it's with English speakers, it's Mr. Miss. Except what was on the screen at that time was she was saying Mr. Naruhodo, and we were alone. So I feel like they're just inconsistent with it. But maybe they're trying to do it, in which case I will give them credit for that then. Veer said, but they're alone now, and she's calling him Mr. Said maybe they're still stuck on English out of shock. Okay, getting up. Then Quiggy says, lovely. There was the old Bailey. Okay, so I'm at least the point where we arrived here at the courthouse. Quiggy said, hey, Vero. Vera said, tee-hee, laughing. It sounded normal on our end. Quiggy said, well, while we wait, how was the sleep? Vero at AMC with a hydrate. Come in. Thank you very much, AMC. I'll do that right now. Oh, it sounds normal to me now.
I just called him Barack Van Zeeks on my playthrough test.
Okay, Barack Van Zeeks. Barack Van Zeeks. How did the TTS sound to you? Because that sounds normal to me. I can try and adjust like the volume of just my computer in general. But thank you very much for the TTS, Vero. Thank you for the 10 bits. It finally sounds back to the regular. Over on YouTube, Toby says, Zeeks. His name is of Dutch descent, I think. Oh, crap. I don't know how to do a Dutch accent. Literally the only frame of reference I have for a Dutch accent, and this is awful, is the third Austin Powers movie. Austin Powers Goldmember. There's the character Goldmember who's like, I'm from Holland. Isn't that weird? And I don't think that's even how he sounds. But a Dutch? No, I'm sorry, he's German. He's German. Yeah, ours is German. I do not know how to do a Dutch accent. I don't even know what I would not be able to pick that out from like a lineup of accents. Derba says, Logan, I reckon your accent is within standards to be no, it's supposed to be like not completely offensive. Note, should this change, you will be promptly kneecapped /J. Thank you very much, Dermo, for keeping me honest. And Toshi says, Barack Row sounds like like you said at first. Oh, Barack Row.
Just make him an Englishman if people don't want him to be German.
Who doesn't want him to be German? Show of hands. Are people opposed to this? I think Magpie said no. Are other people? Maybe I'll try different German than my normal German. How about that? We can experiment when we see this guy. But thank you very much, Vero, for the 10 bits. Thank you. Okay, so Toshi was saying the RO in the name sounds like you said at first. So Barack. So it is like Barack Van Zeeks. Barack Van Zeeks. Barack Van Zeeks is how I'll say it for now. Maybe I'll get used to it. Maybe the game will be nice. There'll be a cutscene where we get to hear it pronounced. Okay. We should play some more. So we've had that that little tease. It's much better than in the second game when they said the name of the prosecutor and they made you think it was going to be someone other than it was. So it's he's the prosecutor. All right.
The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper?
Well, I mean, he obviously didn't do the murder. Oh, maybe it's that, like, defense attorneys don't like facing him in court, and so nobody else was willing to take the job?
When Van Ziek stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been, I'll say, condemned.
Oh, we got a poll has appeared on Twitch. Hang on. I know I was just barely in the chat. Non-binding. Is Beric gay or European? Wait, German voice is the choice for gay? Okay, I guess. It's non-binding, so go ahead and cast your votes. What?
So it's reached the desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all.
So, like, the defense lawyers are condemned. Is it that they, like, die mysteriously, or is it just, like, a spiritual thing?
You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey.
Goodness. Lord Baruch Van Zieks. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then.
And of course, he's gonna have some weird quirk about him. Everyone's got a quirk, you know? Franziska's got a whip. Godot had a mug of coffee. Clavier had his air guitar. And Blackwell, you know, had the shackles and his bird, so he had like two gimmicks. And Nayuda had his like his scrolls and his chants and butterflies. He had a lot of them. So this guy better be whimsical and weird, or just weird.
Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madame. It's cursed.
Cursed? What on earth? I know that we usually use for bailiff the Mike Beans. The defendant is summoned and his counsel.
What kind of want to do? I'm a cop here. The defendant is summoned and his counsel.
It's just the way they look at
The straps there. P.T. Plod, the defendant is summoned and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial is about to begin.
His counsel? Well, that would be me.
Ah, 'tis time. Well then, fella, don't let me down.
But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened.
Until you showed your face here. I'd made up me mind, so I had.
Sorry?
I decided I'd have to defend myself in there.
How would that have worked?
But then you made an appearance. A student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please.
I literally know nothing about the case. Oh, hang on, the poll is done. On Twitch, let's see the results. Oh, and there's also another pin message. Let me check. Oh, the poll's not done. It's just there's another pin message stacked on top of it. Hang on, let me get some background music before I read through all that there. Thank you. I literally know nothing about the case or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. Oh, there was music. What was I saying music? I think the lack of background made me think it was silent.
Mr. Naruhodo. The man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself.
Yes. Something that Cosimo would never have allowed to happen. Is he in our court record now, by the way? Now that we got his name? Hey, there he is, Magnus McGilded, the defendant in this case. He's an incredibly wealthy philanthropist with a wonderful reputation in London. I'm to defend him as a test of my worthiness to become a lawyer.
Huh?
Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you'll lose your right to stand.
Huh? I hope Strongheart's the judge. I mean, I would love a Judge Hudgy judge, but I kind of hope it's Strongheart just for the sillies. I'll be right there. Oh, yay! 5 minutes shy of the 2-hour mark. We're making it to the trial. It's happening then. My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Cosma.
Wheel of morality, turn.
And tell us the lesson that we should learn. Moral number 8. Acid reflux is really unpleasant. Try to sleep on your left side because your stomach is asymmetrical. Okay, the poll is done. Thank you, Ruka, for the 10 bits. How are you? The poll is done. And Englishman voice has won, just as like by a couple of votes, by 2 votes. But it's non-binding. So thank you very much for the poll. And we have a pin message here from Quick. It said, at age 48, McGilded is the oldest defendant in the series thus far. Have we never defended anyone older than 48? Really? Huh. Okay, let's keep going. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. Let's see, is Strongheart gonna be the judge? Or do we have a new judgy? I'm fine either way. Okay. Oh, it's gotta be Strongheart. There's no reason the judge would not be there unless it's Strongheart.
18th February, 10 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom.
Because, wait, no, there's a panel? Is that a jury? There's so many colorful character designs. So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. I like that we have, a jury. Am I gonna have to come with voices for all of them, or are they just decorative? The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different from the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. Oh, sorry. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. I also like that we're getting like different angles and things. It does feel like, because they're saying like this isn't a mainline Ace Attorney game, we can shake things up. We can be a bit different. It can taste a little different.
May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yeah, yes, but don't ask. I hate it when people ask. Just say the thing. Oh, yes, what?
Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again.
I know, but I just can't help it. Oh, he's a vampire. Oh, it is a judgy. Okay, so it's not Strongheart. I was wrong. It's a judgy. He's Santa Claus, except with curly hair. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be set. Okay. You guys, chat, you have 2 choices then. You have 2 choices. Prosecutor can be German, or he can be a vampire. He can be a Dracula. He can be Transylvanian. Those are the only options I'm giving you. Okay? He's not gonna be an Englishman. You gotta choose. German or a Dracula. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsel for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Hang on, we got another poll appeared on Twitch. Which voice? It says vampire or German. Go ahead, cast your votes. I'm gonna read a couple more comments. How are we doing over on YouTube right now? Let's see. Toshi says, I'm horrible at explaining. Says, bah hands. Dura said, Logan, save that cop voice for later. It's perfect for a certain character. Oh, okay. Okay, so he'll go back to just being Mike Meekins then. Thank you very much, Dermo. You'll have to let me know. Okay, here's the thing. If the character shows up and I don't immediately recognize it, let me know. Okay, I'll try and keep an eye out for that. And Toby says, no, please, not a vampire. Well, Toby, I do have some bad news for how the poll is going over on Twitch right now, because right now it's 8 votes to 0. Oh no, 8 to 1. 8 to 1, there's 1 solitary vote against vampire. Toby, I mean, I know you got a Twitch account, so you can pop over there and try and stop it if you want. When he has a line, we can like test it out if we want. Vera says, I saw the Cyclonus. Everyone is excited about his face sculpt. And I already told you before, I had like a Kingdom Cyclonus, a spare one, an extra one that I need to sell with very minimal, almost no yellowing. And now nobody's going to want to buy it because it's the old face sculpt that is awful. Huh?
What's wrong with a vampire who is pretending to be German?
That would be hard to do. I could try that, but that'd be hard to do.
I don't think I can mix accents very well. But thank you very much, Rukov, for the 10 bits. We can headcanon whatever we want about him, though, right? Let's see. Oak says, I made a Dachi in Tomodachi Life. Does he have the goofy face from Persona 4? Vera said, did you make him hate women? Oak says, I will soon. Vera said, oh, thank goodness you're here. I need you to see someone. Wait, what? Oak says, hi. And Vera said, look, Oak. Quickita said, perfect voice. Oak says, smash. Magpie says, the most Irish. Quickita said, that's such a good voice, Logan. And okay, over on Twitch, Vampire has won with 89% of the vote. I'm so sorry, Toby. Over on YouTube, I'm so sorry. We'll give one more out when we go over there and see him talk for the first time, okay? Oak says, Vera says to Oak, I knew you would love him, and Vex says, you're not wrong. I hate both this man and Jervis. You don't like Jervis Tech? Okay, now, like, as a character or, like, character designs of him, okay. But to be fair, there are some interpretations of Jervis Tech that are creepy. I prefer him as just, hey, he is a mind-controlling guy with a hat thing. Some people have tried to do it's like, well, you know what Lewis Carroll was really interested in? Let's have the Mad Hatter interested in that gross stuff. And it kind of ruins the character. Queen says, okay, I hear the loudness. And Vera said, now it's louder on our end somehow. And Neon says, ouchie. Queen says, I see what Logan means. Oak says, yeah. And Vera says, laughing. Queen with the keyboard slam says, this is why we experiment. That had to be when I forgot to do the minus on it, yeah. Anyway. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Okay, he has a line. I'm also gonna save, because we haven't saved in a while. We gotta decide what he sounds like. Because here's the thing, that is a Dracula pose that he is doing. You cannot tell me that this man is not trying to be a Dracula, trying to be a vampire. So if he was German, what you could have had, because obviously the Manfred von Karma voice was, the prosecution is fully prepared. But but he seems more, the vibe I'm getting is more stoic. So he would be down here like this. The prosecution is fully prepared. We will talk like this, Baroque von Zix. The prosecution for the case here to get this person over there condemned to be hanged. So that would have been what the German sounded like. But he is going to be more of a vampire. The prosecution is fully prepared. Blah, blah. Crap, that's gonna slowly turn into a different kind of accent there. The prosecution is fully prepared. I want to suck your blood, to bite your neck. It almost sounds like a Mexican accent. Crap, I'm not good at Dracula voice. Huh. Well, okay. The prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper of the Paley. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be, Eastern? Is that an appropriate word to use? Also, I just noticed I have a tiny side ponytail right here. Not on this side, just right here. Bye.
Make it a little raspy, and I wanna hear you try a tone deeper.
For the vampire? Okay, so I was doing it with the vampire like this. So we try and make it raspier down here. A deeper type of a vampire voice. This is Baroque Van Zix, the Reaper of the courtroom. Is that good? I wish I remembered. I didn't see the Nosferatu remake movie that they came out. I wish I could remember. Huh?
Raspy, raspy, raspy woo.
Okay, so that was good. That was good. Okay, I'll try to do that. I'll try and see if I can maintain it. I might lose that very quickly with the lines. We'll see how it goes, but I'll try. But thank you, Vera, for the 10 bits. But what was that memed audio of Count Orlok from Nosferatu? Where it's like getting on her all crazy like, or something. Whoa, crap, what was it? Automato probably, because there was probably some dirty stuff in there. But you guys know what I'm talking about? There was that audio of someone doing an impression of Count. That was Count Orlok from. Did I say Count Olaf before? Count Orlok from Nosferatu. And, yeah, okay. Oh, and over on YouTube, there is a message retracted from Dermo. Okay. Do you speak English? Do you speak Eggo? Do you speak Eggo waffles? I do not wakarimasu Nihongo. Please speak English. Huh? Yes, of course. Stop being racist. Don't be racist. I am a building. Sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready. And I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. He's got a neck thing. Oh yeah, I gotta remember. I gotta use this. So the vampire. Those down here. Those eyes please me. Is that how you say Japanese and old timey? Nihonese. Huh? They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. I think I'm losing the raspiness. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Ah, a cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes. Oh. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord. You stand accused of murder. That's not a good thing. There's a commandment against that. It's one of the Big Ten. It's a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? This, gaijin? Is that the right word? As I've always said, me lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fella is a student from some little island off in Far East. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance? I'd like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. Gilded. What a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Mother, please, may we go and play in McGilded Park? Hubbub, hubbub, hubbub.
It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. Gilded.
Mr. McGilded. I keep on dropping the McGilded. That's definitely welcome news, and he certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you. Oh, he's got a knife! That you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? I gotta come up with 6 voices all at once. I didn't know the jury would be I didn't know we'd have a jury. In the first place, I didn't know they'd be characters. Okay. Do they all have names? Yes, me lord, if the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready.
At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree.
Any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me. Okay, thank you for taking it easy on me. I feel a chill.
Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with me knitting. Must finish these mitts for me grandson. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, those people are...
The jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet.
That's right, I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors.
Are they gonna be the same for every trial? Or are we gonna have new ones each time?
The judge passes sentencing according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view.
But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict?
I don't know, but I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses.
Yes. Prosecutor Van Zeeks!
My lord. It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you'd renounced your fame. I am known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say.
Michael!
What? You'll be killed before
It's so loud. That's so loud. It's so loud. I need to turn down the volume.
What happened here?
Hang on.
You went negative.
Is that better? Oh. Everything is still too loud. The audio, oh my god, I should pause and read some chat. Since that kind of shocked me right out of things. We got a pinned message written by Queen Kate. It's gonna be a Van Zeeks fact. Yeah, because I don't know enough Dutch or German or anything to know what Van Zeeks could be. Baroque, I'm guessing is either a reference to Baroque or broken or something. Says Van Zeek's name was at first conceived as prosecutor rival. That should have been his name. I'm prosecutor rival. I'm here to demand and prosecute. But this was quickly dropped due to it being too obvious. Wait, was it just gonna be a translation of the name prosecutor rival? Like literally that, but in German, or like just the name, my name is prosecutor rival? Says Shu Takumi has stated that there is an origin behind Baroque's name. However, he considers it too embarrassing to talk about, really? Wow. His surname, Van Zeeks, may be a pun on the term Bonji Kyushu, meaning there is nothing more that can be done, it's all over. Van Zeeks is reminiscent of the Dutch word ziek, meaning sick. Van, meaning of. So like he said, he doesn't like his infamy, so he's sick of being a prosecutor. Meaning, possibly unintentionally referring to the Grim Reaper's emergence as a psychopomp during the Black Plague. What is a psychopomp during the Black Plague? Such fits well with Van Zeek's God of Death persona. Psychopomp. So are we saying like sick because people are sick and dying? Psychopomp definition. I'm looking this up. A psychopomp is a guide, deity, or spiritual or spirit responsible for escorting souls from the land of living to the afterlife. Okay, so we have the Grim Reaper. I have never heard that word before. A psychopomp. That is not what I picture when I hear the word psychopomp. Let me take a look over to YouTube. Derma says Zeeks, the Andalusian vampire? What is that? Says, man, how unrealistic. McGilded hasn't been called a censored even once. Yeah, because I would imagine, I don't know what it was like in Britain in these days, but I know that like in America, for one thing, during this time period, people were very racist against Irish people. We got more trivia from Queen Katie. Says Baroque comes from the Dutch word for and Japanese reading of the word Baroque. Hey, I was right! A style of European architecture and music, the art of the 17th and 18th centuries that followed a mannerism and is characterized by ornate detail. Okay, so I got that. I mean, it was one of my 2 guesses for his name. So I got that. So thank you, Queen Katie, for all the fun trivia. Let's see. Queen says, oh yeah, Logan, did you see Mekon Me I shared earlier? Oh, I saw that you were gonna post memes. Did you post them on Discord? I was like scrambling to get ready and eat and everything, and then I did those audio stuff, so I will look. Is it there? I will check it out. Is it over in the I think in the general chat I saw that you said you were going to post the miscellaneous games channel, right? Said, I really do think I captured her very well. Even gave her a quick layer on where she gets jump scared when you click her. Lol. I gotta check us out. Oak said, just want to see Logan's creations. Quiga says, have you seen mine? Vera said, I love this man. Oak says, yes, it's peak. Quiga says, aw shucks. Eglin said, oh yeah, I posted my live reaction to Logan finally not being lonely on my island. Neon says, got a BRB for dinner. Don't know when I'll be back, but have fun with the game. Thank you, Neon. I hope you're enjoying dinner. If we do see you, hopefully we'll see you soon. If not, thank you and have a good rest of your night. Vex says, Jowd, it's Jowd. I don't know why I was thinking Dowd for a second. So yes, Jowd. Eglin said, meanwhile, I'm married to my best friend, and on their side, it's making it work, while mine is soulmates. Quigan says, Jowd, I know because I rewatched the Ghost Trick VODs, and honestly, yeah, I can see Strongheart with that voice, but excuse me, I wonder what happened there. Vex says, rent in Japan is apparently terrible, though, especially the landlords, especially most are xenophobic. I have heard that. They definitely discriminate against people from other countries, people who are single and things like that. Magpie says, I think the fear of slipping into Scottish is very real. I find Irish goes up, Scottish goes down, but that's just my very not close to Ireland interpretation. I'm probably more related to Scotland, laughing. And Queen says, I don't even know the Damon Gann voice because the VODs are gone, lol. So that'd be fun. I think I got a couple of clips. I don't know if they were among the ones that I moved over to YouTube, because like some of them I skipped. But I can look into that and see if there's any clip, because I'd probably need to review it. I think Damon Gann was just like, I'm Damon Gann, like this, and lots of little noises and things. Quick to say, and then Oak with an unperk, and then unlurk. Thank you for the unlurk, Oak. And Oak says, I love this guy. Queen says, yes, unperk. Okay, and over on YouTube, Derma says, they don't shy away from Asian racism. Surprised that McGilded got off free. Well, maybe because the devs are Japanese, that they just weren't aware of the anti-Irish racism of the time. It says, although much like Pain, having Gilded talk about a tiny island was probably intentional irony. Well, I think it's because that to everyone here in Great Britain, in their minds, because they've mentioned the British Empire a number of times, like in their minds, they don't think of Great Britain as the island, even though it should be. And that's the part of the irony that you're talking about, Derma. I think they think of it as the empire, you know? But yes, I like that irony. So thank you for pointing it out. Okay, I think I'm getting close-ish to catching up on chat over on Twitch. And by the way, we're getting semi-close to the 2.5 hour mark on the Twitch side. If you got raid suggestions, let me know. Honestly, this stream is flying by today. I feel like I've accomplished nothing, but I'm having fun meeting all these characters. His hair feels like Edgeworth, but just with some little extra little wavy things on the tips. Yeah. So is it, I gotta get used to this voice. It's gonna take me a while to go in and out of it for a while until I get the hang of it. So he's a vampire down here. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance of which the court should be aware? Oh, look at those gloves! I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? I mean, on the plus side, it's giving you an opportunity to prove yourself to Strongheart.
Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo!
As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. He must be the only ones in here who aren't aware. Oh, he's got a scroll! Look at that face. I feel like they're really trying to make him handsome, but then just give him like sad eyes with a stern demeanor. The incident took place in the late evening. 3 days passed. The hour was some minutes after 10. Okay, this guy looks sad. Hang on, I gotta take away my camera for a second so you guys can see him.
He's got a little stitched together hat.
The victim was a maker of building bricks known to the community as Thrice-Fired Mason.
Sorry, thrice? Is that like twice?
He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible.
So he's a Mason. So his last name is, oh, whoa, stabbed. I mean, he's a victim, so I should have known he was dead. He's stabbed. So yeah, his name is Mason because he's Mason. And thrice fired, I'm gonna guess that's a double meaning because you fire the bricks, so he does it thrice to make them solid. But I'm gonna guess that maybe he also, something about losing jobs, like getting fired from a job, right? There's gotta be something there.
The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service of the streets of London at the time. A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death.
I hope I'm still maintaining that voice all right. It's a struggle.
Here is the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard.
Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence.
The autopsy report has been entered into the court record.
Autopsy report, a report prepared by the Scotland Yard coroner. It gives the cause of death as internal hemorrhaging as a result of a single stab wound to the abdomen. What about the photograph? There we go.
The photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record.
A photograph of the victim taken on the omnibus. Why is it color? It shouldn't be color. That color's gotta be like hand added with like markers or something. The knife in his abdomen is clearly visible, but his face is partially obscured from view by an old crooked hat. So that's gonna be important. Let's save it and let's take a look at these pieces of evidence first of all. See if we can glean anything from them. I want to glean some stuff. This is. Okay, court record. So first of all, autopsy report. Victim thrice-fired Mason, male, age 54, occupation brickmaker. Time and cause of death, 15th February, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Stabbed once in the abdomen with a knife whilst journeying in an omnibus. Died due to internal hemorrhaging resulting from the trauma. Okay. And I'm assuming that they're doing like full-on autopsies here then, yeah? So we don't have to rely on like just guesswork like we did in the first case. Crime scene photograph. I mean, it's kind of obscured, like a little bit. It looks like you can see like the lower eyelid and, or I guess that's a closed eye. Those are probably the upper eyelid's eyelashes. Some little hair weaving across there. He got glasses, mustache. Let's compare this to his face here. It looks right. The victim, a skilled but poor brickmaker who lived in the East End. So that's probably the thrice fired part, yeah? He can fire the bricks and he gets fired from his jobs.
And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well.
So gloves, and the right hand glove looks like it's got a stain on it. And these are... Oh, gracious, it is that blood! I didn't know I'd have to look at blood in a murder trial. Oh.
Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested.
What? Mr. McGilden's gloves had blood on them? Hubbub, hubbub, hubbub. Do they fit? If they don't fit, we have to acquit. Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. The defendant's leather gloves have been entered into the court record. The leather gloves the defendant was wearing at the time of the incident. There's a blood stain on the right glove. How did I get into this? Okay, let's take a look at the gloves now. Maybe we can rotate them around and like click them or something. Oh, yeah, we can. If we look inside of them. Oh my goodness, they're full of darkness. All right, let's see what we can actually click. Okay, we can click the blood. This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London.
Well, nothing will come of grumbling now.
No. By the way, is Mr. McGilded right-handed?
Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier.
Oh, that's right. Maybe that was to like show us that he's right-handed. Ha! Pity. If only he'd been left-handed.
I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really.
Yeah, I mean, you can stab with your non-dominant hand. Not that I know from personal experience. But I assume. If we look inside. Okay, so that's all there is to click for now. Maybe we'll have more stuff later with them. How did I get into this? I'm backed into a corner before I've even started.
Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time.
So maybe it was the driver who did it. Only 2?
Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other... I point like this. I do not clench my hand. Was the accused Magnus McGilded? Well, rather darning circumstances, to say the least. Defendant, what do you say? Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded! To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it.
He's like a little baby. Are you claiming to have been asleep? Is he a somnambulist? Does he sleepwalk? Does he sleep stab?
'Tis the motion of the carriage, me lord. Lilting so it is, and when I opened me eyes again. 'Twas a desperate sight before me, the body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in me life.
So it sounds like maybe he was put onto the carriage already dead?
Ew. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach?
Oh, so that's why he's saying that he pulled the knife out.
I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
It's a hand, literally. So the blood got onto the gloves then, after the man had been killed?
Unfortunately, that statement of the driver's is only the beginning.
What? That's not all of it?
There were multiple witnesses.
How? There were only 2 people in the carriage. That's what it said at the beginning, though, right?
To the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. It's my vampire laugh. Multiple witnesses. 1 witness. 2 witnesses. 3 witnesses. 3 witnesses.
Actually, I don't know if that's the number. Yeah.
Hubba, is it 3? Wow, that lady's typing fast. She should be the stenographer, not a juror. Ordar!
Is that, was it originally ordar instead of order in the court?
When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. And there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused. I look out the corner of my eye.
Hey!
Oh. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses first of all.
I don't get an opening statement?
Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once.
3. Okay, I guessed the right number. Because I figured it would have said like 2 if it was 2, but it might have been 4. So we got 3 witnesses here. 3 witnesses. Witnesses, state your names and occupations. I gotta read some more in the chat before we talk to these, because we're meeting all sorts of new characters now. Let's see. Oak says, Vero, you should have made me draw this guy. Queen said, just wait till you find out how old this man is. Wait. Oh yeah, the defendant, yeah, he's in his 50s. Wait. So Oak, did you draw someone for Vero? A new ribboned beloved for Vero? Oak says, is he 4 or 100? Gotta be one of those two. Vera said, now I regret it. I have so many faiths in this game. Queen said, I have a fun fact about this that soon once it is revealed. Let's see. Oak says, why is it harder to lift your other eyebrow? I don't know. I think like I just have to kind of squint my right eye a little bit to lift. I can't really get the curve as well. I think it's because I don't lift it as often. The muscles have probably atrophied. Oak says, I can only lift my left eyebrow. There's gotta be a reason. Are people left eyebrowed or right eyebrowed or something? Oak says, Magnus, my goat. And then Queen with her name facts. Oak says, every single person in London is gay in this game. Queen said, Logan, the goat at guessing the name. Oak said, how did he do that? And Vera says, laughing. And Vera says, big brain. I mean, his name wasn't that difficult to figure out. Gilded, Magnus, things like that. I had no idea with Van Zeeks though. Well, no, I did. I got Baroque. But the Van Zeeks, I don't know where that's coming from. Magpie says, blur your ears. I don't know how to describe it. It's like you listen, but you gotta. Oak says, I get the feeling this guy is pregnant. Kaifi says hello. Oh, excuse me, howdy, Mr. Roboto. How you doing, Kaifi? Veer said, instead of eat the rich, you impregnate them. Kaifi says, howdy all. Veer says, hello. Kaifi said, that's not how you get baby money. Oak says, Fuka, you didn't warn us. Queen says, I will share a name fact of Barack once we actually meet him. Magpie says, Van Zeeks, I think. No, he's not German. Queen at the keyboard slam said, Magpie, coming to the defense. And Vera says, see, Magpie? Magpie says, please do not German him. So Vera, had you said in like this over in your spoiler chat that like I was gonna do German? Let me take a look over at YouTube chat. Dermo says, oh, and Andalusia. Andalusia is South Spain. Oh, I think I've heard of the Andals before. Is that yeah? Your Zeke's voice sounds like that region. Yeah, like I said, it was like slowly shifting into like either Hispanic or a Spanish type of a thing. I'm not good at this voice. I will practice it though. I will work on it. And Dermo says, gore soaked. Barack was being very hyperbolic. I've had bloodier paper cuts. And then Derma says, hello, Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot is my father. I'm Logan. Let's see. Bubbo says, Ikes. Kyvie says, Eeks. Bubbo says, Oak. This is supposed to be okay. Vex says, I've always thought Bierok Van Zeeks. Bierok Van Zeeks. Vera says, I told you, Magpie, I know this man. Kyvie says, Barack. Magpie says, he's the most English of very English. And Vera says, he would have made him German anyways. Oak says, Barack von Bama. Kyvie says, no! As usual, and witnesses, your name and occupation. Magpie says, no, get back here, Barack von Bama is hysterical. Quickly with the timestamp, 1 hour, 47 minutes. Crap, I'm like 45 minutes behind. I gotta read a bunch of comments. Vera said, I slept well. Whoever asked, salute. Queen said, we did it. We fixed TTS. That was me, lol. Vera says, I had a dream about a water park. It was fun. And Vex says, no, German. Queen said, Logan, he's a prosecutor. Odds are he'll have his own objection sound effects, so we'll hear him soon. Oh, that's right. That's right. Although I tend to ignore a lot of those because they're so weird. Like, you know, Manfred von Karmer's like, objection. And then I did enjoy that the Payne Brothers was like, objection. Kyvie says, anybody else do squats today? No. I did not do squats today. I'm sorry. Vex says both are European, so he's gay and European. Oak says voting German because nobody else wants German, so it must be funny. Vera said the Englishman is gay, obviously. Magpie says Britain left the EU, so... And Oak says I have to go to bed. No! No! But if you need sleep, Oak, I totally understand. Sleep well. Thank you for being here. Kyvie said to Magpie they did. Oak said, thank you for the very queer stream. It made me smile. Queen Katie with a smile. And Vera said, aw, Oak, you're not going to see the Reaper. Queen says, yeah, Baroque has a quirk. All right. Like, obviously don't answer, but like more so than the vampire cloak? I guess we'll see it soon. Let me see over on YouTube chat. Toby says, I also wouldn't have liked German, but I dislike vampire voices way more. It's too silly for me. Am I doing it like grounded enough, or am I ruining your experience and your immersion, Toby? Derba says, Toby, what about Obama voice? Yeah, what about an Obama voice? We're here to determine the kill. Oh, that man over there, Magnus McGilty, was in that carriage, and he stabbed the man. And there were multiple witnesses to see this fact. I don't think that's a very good Obama voice. Anyway. Witnesses, your names and occupations.
My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo.
Why is he cold in here? I don't see mist coming out of, not mist, what is it? You know, the vapor when you're outside and it's freezing cold. Coming out of anyone else. Steam, that's the word. I don't see steam coming out of anyone else's mouth. Is it steam? Is that what? I don't know.
I drive an omnibus in the East End.
Bruce Fairplay, I'm a banker in the city.
I don't know. It's just, I'm just brainstorming here. Is it? My name's First. Lady First. My name's First. Lady First. I make hats for gents, but not for ladies. If I did, they'd go ahead of the line. They'd get the hats first. Okay, so we gotta figure out their name puns. Lady First is obviously ladies first. He's chivalrous. He's a gentleman. Bruce Fairplay. I don't know what Bruce is, but Fairplay is obviously he plays by the rules. All about fair play. Beppo? I don't know. Isn't there a? I feel like there's a restaurant that's like Boca de Beppo, something like that. I don't know what Beppo is. I don't know what Beppo means. Yeah, so lady first. Obviously, ladies first. And yeah, Bruce Fairplay. Oh, and we got a pin message on Twitch already. Bruce's Japanese name is Oscar Fairplay. I wonder why they changed it from Bruce to Oscar. His Fairplay surname in both Japanese and English may be a reference to his personality. It could also be a reference to the term fair play, used to describe mystery stories that give the audience all of the clues needed to solve the mystery from the outset. I was actually thinking about this earlier because we've talked about this before. And I think the similarity between that, I want to make an analogy, is part of why I struggle with roguelike games, where you got to keep doing the runs and you get stronger and stronger and stronger. I prefer a game where if you are good enough at it, you could theoretically make it on the first way through. I don't like it where the game is like inherently unfair and you absolutely cannot and you have to do it over and over again. I think that's just a thought. I may change my mind though, but that's what I think. Let's see. The mysteries in the Ace Attorney games are fundamentally not fair play, as they rely on the gradual collection of clues via evidence and testimony. Yeah, it's kind of bullcrap, but it does make me feel better when I make a big swing guess and ends up being right. His English localized name, Bruce, is a stereotypical male name in Australia. Bruce. Yeah, Bruce. I mean, it's also other places too. We got Bruces in America. I actually don't know how stereotypical it is. The only Bruce I think of from Australia is Bruce the shark from Finding Nemo. Because didn't he have an Australian accent? Am I misremembering? I think he had an Australian, fish are friends, not food. But you guys know why he was named Bruce, right? It wasn't because of Australian. It wasn't because Australia. It was because he was a shark. And when they filmed the movie Jaws, Steven Spielberg's movie Jaws back from the 1970s, whatever. I think it was the 70s, right? The animatronic shark that they used on set was nicknamed Bruce. And so if you're gonna do a shark in a movie, he should be named Bruce. Said in a similar manner to Pierre in France or John in the United Kingdom. So is this like a stereotype I didn't know about, that Bruce is like a common Australian name? Lay's Japanese name is Adam Readyfast. Well, Adam, I think its original Hebrew origins just means man, right? So he's a man who's just ready fast. Ready fast? Is that he makes the hats quickly? So his name is Fast? Is likely a play on the saying, ladies first? Wait, that's a play? Oh, probably instead of Adam, it's Madam. Ready fast, though. How does that do ladies first? His full English name is also a play on the saying ladies first, referencing his Japanese surname. Yeah, Madam Ready Fast? I'm not seeing the pun here quite, but okay. We'll go with that. So thank you, Queen Katie. What about Beppo? Or is that a spoiler? Is Beppo gonna be the big bad of the whole game series. Oh, here we go. Beppo's name is a reference to the character of the same name from the Sherlock Holmes story, The Adventure of the Six Napoleons. Okay, so he's the Sherlock Holmes character. I like that. So even though Sherlock Holmes is in public domain, apparently Beppo is. Beppo is already allowed to be used, so we're gonna make some slasher horror movies where Beppo is killing people just like Steamboat Willie and Winnie the Pooh. Queen says, ready is lady, fast first, I assume. Oh, so fast first. Ready. Oh, you gotta say it with like a Japanese accent. Ready fast, lady first. That's not a Japanese accent, but you see what we're doing here. Okay, thank you, Queen Katie. That makes so much more sense. Said ready fast, lady first, lady first. Hugh O'Connor. Thank you, Magpie. It's all Hugh O'Connor. You just gotta say it enough times and anything turns into Hugh O'Connor. Let me take a quick look at the chat again. I'm liking all these characters. Although poor lady first. No, I'm gonna give him the Basil voice. I gotta remember that for more. Lady first. I'm Basil. No, don't do that. No, that's not Basil. That's close to it though. Maybe we'll do a variation. His hat keeps sliding off of him. But yeah, let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Let's see, Derma says, that's not his breath condensing, it's just breathing steam because it's not cold in the court. That's why I'm confused. Is there like a cold front just hovering around him? Or does he have a steam engine inside of him? Toshi says, Beppo is so relatable, I'm always freezing, even in summer. And Derma said, Logan, ... I don't think you're talking about roguelikes. The whole point of that is that you don't get upgrades or progression, you just get more skills so you can beat it from the beginning. No, sorry, maybe I said roguelite. Light with the T, roguelite. Because isn't that what a roguelite is, where you have to do the more runs and you have to like progress as a character? And that's, I've always been told, and maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong about other things, so you can please correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't a roguelike one thing, and then a roguelite is where you have to do multiple runs and get the progressing of items, right? Maybe I didn't enunciate properly, if so, I'm sorry. Toby says, Obama voice sounds fun. Maybe there's a character in this game where it'd fit. And Nova says, as opposed to RPGs, where you have to level up, you could just go to the end at the beginning. I do like that. I love that in Breath of the Wild, that you could just go like straight to Ganon. Toby says, when Logan mentioned a Dutch accent for Van Zieks, I imagined him sounding like Mark Rutte, the Secretary General of NATO. That'd be weird for sure. I am gonna write this down in my notes because I don't know what that person sounds like. Mark Rutte of NATO. I'm assuming that he's Dutch then. So thank you very much. Because again, I said the only Dutch point of reference I have is Goldmember from the third Austin Powers movie. Okay, let's play a little bit more. Once again, though, we are less than 20 minutes away from the 3-hour mark. So I want to do another call for raid suggestions on Twitch. I'll try to read some more chat soon. My name's Lady Lady First. I make hats for gents.
Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the aforementioned incident.
So what are we saying? There were only 2 people in it. If they were all in there, any one of them could be the culprit. We're not like, oh, McGilded was the only one in there. Had to be. No, they were all in there. Someone just like on the way out just like stabs him. Plus they saw it. But okay, the question is, how could they do it to make it look like McGilded? So if he's asleep, someone weekend at Bernie's him to like stab the guy?
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Quite right. Yes, sir, that's right, sir.
Very well then, let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. I forgot we get multiple people on the stand in this game because of game mechanics. Witness testimony and fancy writing, what the witnesses saw.
It was the last bus in the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well.
The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
I don't even know if that's a British voice.
Oh, it's right. He stabbed him.
Oh yeah, he's just turning into Shoma. Yeah, what was base?
Pace was more like this. He stabbed him. I screamed, I did. I couldn't help it.
As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too.
I'm gonna work on all these voices. I didn't know we were gonna be meeting so many people today.
Unambiguous testimony, I must say. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes.
I'd like to ask a question, if I may.
Yes, counsel.
Well, this testimony
Makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not?
Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it?
As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes.
Well, in that case... Ha! How could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage!
They were also passengers. Ryunosuke. More than 2 seats.
Oh, because the only carriage he's been on was the one over to the other place. It was a 2-seater probably. He hasn't seen like a full stagecoach style carriage with like 4 seats, huh?
Oh. How quaint. I dread that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses?
Huh?
Tell me, my Japanese friend.
I don't know how to pronounce that. That won't be like is that offensive? Nipponese?
Have you ever traveled in an omnibus?
Well, no. We only arrived in London this morning.
No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves the actual scene of the crime, that is.
What? Do you mean the actual scene? How? Oh, if only I knew about photographic technology!
A carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably, you understand that much.
Oh, they brought it here? Yes. Are we gonna get to investigate it?
The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today, in this very building.
Here? What? The entire carriage?
Bailiff. Bring forth this stricken omnibus.
Hut. Job Masters, London head office, London 5th Avenue, Baker Street, Old Street, City of something or other, Westchester. So, that's an omnibus, the omnibus. Oh, here we got a pin message. Written by Magpie says, I think Nihonese is technically speaking just a very old-fashioned thing to say, but it sounds racist to us because there is a racist phrase derived from that, which I won't repeat, but also, caveat, I'm white and do not know every race is. I don't know either. And that's why when you're saying it's similar to another thing, I don't know what that other phrase is. I would imagine that for most people who are not racist, you're probably not in on the hip racist lingo. Most people are just like, I don't say those things, so I don't know them. So thank you very much, Magpie. I need a sip of water. I'm gonna read some more chat. We got a little over 10 minutes till the 3-hour mark. Anybody got any more raid suggestions? Let me know. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Vero says, indeed, smirk. Magpie says, unfortunately, beverage, says Vex. Vero says, a very sexy quirk. Since he's a vampire. Hang on, what year did this come out? Did this come out after the Twilight movies? Because in the Twilight movies, vampires don't die in the sun, they sparkle. Maybe he's gonna like rip open his shirt. It's like, I sparkle. Look at my sparkling pectoral muscles. Something like that. That's a sexy quirk. Kyvie says, your name is Honest Magpie, so I'll have to believe you. Quickita said that was pinned earlier. Queen with a smile. Kyvie said non-binding, but just know we'll be really disappointed if you don't do it. Queen says yes, Logan, a jury, aka several new voices. Vera says I love you. Susato voice is so endearing. Bubba says vampire. Vex says vampire. Queen says vampire. Magpie says, I will accept vampire. Queen Katie says, bat. Kyvie says, English vampire. Eglin says, German Dracula. Queen Katie says, I speak for all of us that we want vampire. Eglin says, Queen Katie says, Eglin, no. Kyvie says, like Dio Brando. Bumbo says, it seems unanimous. Bumbo says, definitely vampire. You'll probably see why, vampire. Toby says, I'm here on Twitch for 1 second to cast 1 vote for German. Thank you, Toby. Bumbo says, bye, Toby. And Bumbo with a hydrate command. Thank you very much, Bumbo. Queen Katie says, I'm so nervous. Vex says, Logan, I hate to poop on your party. I just thought you hate to poop. I'm gonna say, I hate doing it, but it's a relief afterward. But obsessed with a woman named Alice and mind control will never not be creepy. Well, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, yes, in Batman the Animated Series, the first episode with him, he was obsessed with someone that he saw as Alice from Alice in Wonderland. I actually don't know his first appearance in the comics. Was he obsessed with someone named Alice? I always thought that in the comics he was just mind control, wears a hat. And that's he's a Mad Hatter. But yes, he add that in, it becomes creepy. And Bubba says he is hitting the vampire pose. Queen says yes. Oh no, never mind. Vera says laughing. Vex. Queen says vampire. Yes, vampire. Vex says no, I don't like the German. Kyvie says perfect. Vex says Automa does not like that. I do not like the German accent. It probably thought you were saying that you don't like Germans or something. Let's see, Vera says, I got you. Vex said both of those messages got flagged laughing. Vex says, thank you, Vero. And Vera with a salute. And Kyvie says, sounds great. Queen says, Jowd, if he was a vampire, I love it. And Bubba says, that's good. Vera says, Logan makes up the sexiest voice ever, then asks if it's good. That's what, you know what, someday when I find a girl and I settle down, get in a relationship, get a girlfriend, then a fiance, then a marriage, whatever, I'm gonna be there with my wife. And that's what everything's gonna be. I'm gonna do something, and I'll accidentally do something sexy. And then immediately like, was that good? Was that good? Was that good? I don't know. I don't know what women folk like. Eglin says, ... would. Kyvie says, calm down. Magpie says, yes. Vera with lurk, thing with lurk, Vero. Bubba says, calm down, but also kinda goals. Kyvie said, you're not wrong. In fact, I agree, but let's not be hasty. And Eglin says, my hear me out list is atrocious. This is nothing new for me. Kyvie says, yeah, I get that. Quika says, Missa the dog flashbacks. Kyvie says, that is a Londoner with a knife. I'm calling it now. I wish I knew how to do like Roddy McDowell for some reason. As soon as I saw the guy with the knife, I was thinking Roddy McDowell. I don't think Roddy McDowell is even a Londoner, but I think it's just because of the association with Clockwork Orange. Because I've never seen Clockwork Orange, but didn't he have like a knife in that? Bubba says he did it. Eglin said, low-key, knife guy reminds me of you, Logan. That's you, but blonde? Do I have a knife? I think I've showed you the guys that I do have for safety's sake a knife that folds into the size of like a credit card so you can put it in your wallet. But the problem is it'll never be useful because even if someone attacks you, you'd be like, wait a moment, sir. I have to take out my credit card knife and unfold it into the shape of a knife to defend myself. Bubba says, juror number 5 looks like a me. Bubba says, it's the eyes. The default me eyes are those eyes exactly. And there is a shout out from Crystal. Quiggity with a pin message. Crystal says, Van Zeek's my man, my fave, my man. Love Van Zeek so much. Let me take a look over to YouTube chat. Let's see. I gotta scroll up. Derma says, in before it was a glass carriage like out of a fairy tale. Says, Nippon is the name of Imperial Japan. Well, yeah, now it's Nihon, right? So did they change the P sound to an H sound? I always assumed that Nihon was the proper pronunciation and Nippon was just like more of an anglicization of it. Said nowadays it's called Nihon, so the term isn't really racist, just outdated like referring to Russia as the Soviet Union. So Nipponese is an old term, Nihonese is modern, and Nipponese without the last 6 letters is a slur. Oh! Okay, I have heard that word. That's where that comes from. Okay. I did not know that. And Derma says, this has been Dermo's lessons in old language and slurs, not to encourage it. We're letting you know what the words are so you don't say them. Okay? And again, like we're a little over 5 minutes away from the 3-hour mark, so last call for raid suggestions. Let's play a bit more here. So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing, just their doors. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. Oh, we get a diagram. Oh, so are we gonna find out that 2 of them were on the roof or something? So we got 4 downstairs and 4 upstairs.
4 passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best view of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. And I should point out for our foreign guests. Oh, look at Beppo over there. He's so shivering. Oh, and we can see Lady First on the other side as well. Let's say Joe Masters London Home Office. Oh, Job Masters. Oh, he was on the same thing as on the sign. I just noticed that there was one on the door as well. Oh, and there's a window. Okay, that makes sense. So that's how they... Wait. What if they were on the front row? Huh? They wouldn't have been like looking behind them? There is a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above.
A skylight? Oh!
The penny drops at last, I see.
Don't drop Penny! Penny is wonderful. I love Penny Nichols.
These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats of the omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight.
Oh, that makes perfect sense! Well, Council, this is a first. In all my years behind... Oh, it's his wig. It popped off of him. In all my years behind the bench, I have never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom.
There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. Bow. That is the prosecution's wish.
I like how his hair is like a little bit long down at the bottom. Very well, I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence.
The omnibus has been entered into the court record.
The 8-seater omnibus that was the scene of the crime. There were passengers both inside the carriage and on the roof deck that night. I can't believe it! The entire crime scene entered as evidence?
Yes! Great Britain is simply extraordinary!
I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. So let's do this. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, we can turn around. And, I can't go underneath it. Oh, I'm too large. I'm too large and in charge. Okay, so there's nothing in the front. I can't read that sign. Is there something on the back? Number 418. Oh, wait, what was I looking at there? Or something like... Oh, I can click the door. Was that just open the door?
Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we?
Oh, the scene of a murder. It's horrible. Wow, it's blood. Oh, man. He did not come prepared. There's a sign, a notice. There's a thing. Can we go back out? I want to back outside. I want to look at the outside of the omnibus first, in case there's Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, I thought Ryunosuke was Phoenix Wright's ancestor. Is he gonna look at this at the end of the case and go, Phoenix Wright Omnibus, what a great name. I will make sure that like my great-great-great-grandson is eventually named that. Phoenix Wright Omnibus. Sounds like a collection of the greatest works of Phoenix Wright. Let's take a look up here. Oh, do we have to climb up? You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening. That's for sure. It looks like it opens as well. It opens, so whoever was here probably slipped down there, did a little stabby, and then popped back up.
Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin, so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly.
That's not good for us. Okay, anything else up here? Like the benches? There we go.
So this is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London streets from up here.
I like that this conversation is going on. Everyone in court is just kind of waiting on us. I'm like, are you guys done? We're like climbing all over, looking around. It's like, oh, this is so neat. So people sit all the way up here on bitter winter nights with the cold air rushing past them? And they have to pay money to do so? Brr, I can't imagine how cold it must be. That's why you go on a date in a blanket and you snuggle up. That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the city in the freezing cold as punishment?
Perhaps that is the real price you pay to stay out late.
Oh, all right. Can we look at the driver's seat there? Apparently not. Can we look at the front row seats?
So this is the roof deck of the omnibus.
Oh, okay, it's the same thing as the back one. Okay, and doesn't look like that we have anything to say about the driver's seat. Okay, so let's go inside. I'll read a couple more comments in the chat though because I am still behind, but let's get in there. Let's see. Magpie says, Van Zeeks, we love him. Unfortunately, Kaivi said we're getting linguistic knowledge bombs in here. Bubba said Katie does that all the time. Kaivi says, I know. Quigita says, yeah. And a timestamp for Crystal, 2 hours, 14 minutes. Crap, we passed the 3 hour mark. I'm still 45 minutes behind in chat. Are you kidding me? Wow. Eglin says, one of my lesbians is trying to de-lesbian herself on my island like I get the angel is hot, but that ain't happening. Magpie said Logan was too busy thinking of Nina Dowd, the mighty Endowed. Endowed. And wait, who's Nina Dowd? Or is that like an actual person? Because that's a good pun, endowed. Kyvie says brand new sentence. Crystal says his face isn't really what makes him handsome. Oh, of Zeke's, really? Kyvie said, I'd forgotten to drink water yesterday, and that's after barely drinking any water for the past week. You need water, Kyvie! I don't blame you though, I don't really like water. Queen Katie says, because his full name isn't here yet, I will not share the name fact for the victim yet. Oh yeah, the Mason guy. Nora says 11:11, my time, make a wish. Sorry, I couldn't be here. Plus, I'm going to bed. Broken heart, thank you for popping in, Nora. I hope your wish comes true. Kyvie says, I wish my body would tell me when it needs water instead of just doing literally nothing to tell me. No dry mouth, no chapped lips. Vera with the alert. Welcome back. Vera Bum says, do you get the achy stomach after going too long without? Kyvie says, nope. Queen says, that may explain why my stomach stopped hurting when I finally got some Sprite just now. Bubba says, I get weirdly hungry when I'm very thirsty. Kyvie says, I've been told it's easy to confuse thirst with hunger. Queen said, imagine this being somebody's very first Ace Attorney game. You go from a vampire to Miles Edgeworth. Captions, I reached out to give them out a heart. Logan, do you know what the omnibus is like? I don't. Kyvie says, who are you? Count from Sesame Street. That's what I was trying to do. Queen says, oh, I'm so excited for the upcoming name fact. Timestamp 2 hours, 29 minutes, still half hour behind. Queen says, I'm so hyped. Vera says, so many people to voice. Bumba says, the Brickmaker, Mr. Brickmaker. Queen says, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like back in olden times, your last name was your occupation, right? There was a time in the past where a Mason's last name would be Mason, yeah? Queen said, these names are so good, by the way. I can't wait. We should have slow mode, please. Bubba said, we definitely should have slow mode on. He's like an hour back. Kyvie says, I am well, so to speak. Vera says, I did laughing. Magpie said, to be fair, Manfred and the early ones were back when they had like some guy in the office to shout out objection in a terrible microphone, lol. Queen said, Beppo's name is a reference. Oh, that was pinned earlier. And Bubba said, this one seems like a pretty solid, not too silly. And then Queen says, Vero, there's also one for Beppo. Lobba, take your time. Chris said, let's finish Lay's name facts first before Beppo. Queen says, yee. Vera says, I'll keep Beppo for the last. Queen Katie Salute says, I don't know, just copy paste from Wiki. And Crystal says, Japanese people mostly pronounce R and L interchangeably. Queen says, ready, fast, I assume. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for that clarification. That made so much more sense. Says, yeah, what Crystal said. And Magpie says, ready fast is ready fast, ready first, ladies first, Hugh O'Connor. And Vera said, that's it. Crystal says, all roads lead to Hugh O'Connor. And Queen says, poor first was fixing his hat the entire time. And then Chris said Ryonosuke is a bit dumb. And Magpie says, that was pinned earlier. Kyvie says, bailiff, whack his knee. Magpie says, just don't shorten that. It's probably okay, lol. Magpie says he's Victorian. He's not removing any shirts anytime soon. Okay. Let's play a bit more. We are a bit over time. But let's at least get out of investigating this before we wind down for the night. So last call for raid suggestions. I'm sorry I'm so far behind in the chat. If anyone is lurking, I read every comment. I'm just so far behind right now. Let's look at the sign first. We'll look at the blood last in case it skips his head. That's a poster for the Great Exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. I assume that'll be like maybe the last case of the game or something. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. We've mentioned this Crystal Tower before, right? Is that a real thing in London?
Oh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event.
Okay, so that's all that was. Can I see the thing out the window? No? Okay. There's also a sign back here, yeah? Ah, that's a poster for the... Oh, they're both posters for the same thing? Okay, that one has a picture and the other one didn't. Can I look at the seat that does? Oh, there's a drawer. Oh, but I can look at the seat first. The drawer is probably for like storing luggage, maybe? This seat looks reasonably soft, but it's actually rather hard when you sit on it because there's not much there. It's on top of a trunk, more or less. And only just wide enough for two gentlemen to sit side by side, really.
Of course, an English gentlewoman would be dressed in such finery. It would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the roof deck, so she would have to be seated in here.
I hope we open the drawer. I want there to be like another body in one of these drawers instead of luggage. A woman in a kimono would have the same problem. Women's clothes are very impractical, aren't they? You can't even fit crap in your pockets. Your pockets suck, Susato. They'll teach you to be a girl. Blood. I'm the blood, actually, yeah, as well. But anyway. That's blood that soaked into the seat. The victims, obviously.
Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck.
Would you really stab someone in full view of the other passengers like that? I wonder.
Well, it was after dark. And there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight.
Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Is that everything in here? That's the door again, but can we like click the windows? The skylight from down here? It's quite a large skylight, isn't it?
Yes, quite large enough to afford a good view into the cabin from the roof deck.
And there doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description. There was on the top!
There wasn't a crystal tower but a crystal palace which was built in like 1851 in Hyde Park for 1851 Great Exhibition.
Okay, so I'm assuming then that this is like loosely based on or inspired by that. So thank you, Vero. I assume that the tower and the palace were both crystal sized. There's little. There's very little, about that big. But thank you very much for the 10 bits, Vero. Thank you. Okay, I gotta play some more. We gotta get out of this cabin, this carriage, and then catch up and chat. We'll do some raids, and thank you for the 10 bits. And there doesn't appear to be a handle or a catch of any description. So I suppose it can't be opened from inside the cabin at least, but it can be opened from up there. Okay, I think we've examined everything. So let's just head back outside. Double check to make sure there's nothing else. Can we look at the steps, the wheels, the thing in the front, the 419, the Phoenix right there. At least it doesn't, you know what, it could be worse. It could be worse. Instead, it could say, that man omnibus. So at least it was braver than Edgeworth. It was able to say the name. Let us continue with proceedings then. Your cross-examination, counsel!
Pray, don't expect these Japanese stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights.
All right, my first cross-examination in a British court. Ha! Focus, Ryunosuke! Focus! That hurt.
Cross-examination! What the witnesses saw.
Okay, let's save our game right here. Save. Save my progress. Yes, save my progress. Save my poggers. And I need to fully catch up to chat. Let's fully catch up to chat right now. Let's see. Crystal says, I think Nippon is okay since it's the name of Japan. Actually, is it Nippon or Nihon? Unfortunately, /HJ. Magpie says, yes, but you can't shorten it further from that. Timestamp from Queen Katie, 2 hours, 50 minutes. Okay, I'm only 18 minutes behind. I'm getting close to caught up. Crystal says, nipples. Magpie says, sort of. Remember how we fought Japan in World War II? We came up with some racisms then, so it's easy to find out what the wrong phrase is. I think the first time I ever saw that was, I want to say it was like a Superman comic book cover of him doing disparaging acts. Vero with some raid suggestions! Thank you very much, Vero. I will copy these over into my text file. Thank you very much. Crystal with an emote, and Magpie says, I love the do I have a knife? Like Logan isn't sure how many knives he may or may not have. Well, I mean, do you keep track of stuff like that? I'm not talking about like on my person. I just mean like in my room or somewhere nearby. Is that you gotta think about it. Like, I might have a knife. I might have a knife somewhere. Not on me. I'm not gonna threaten anybody. Kyvie says Logan the third. I like that. Yeah, then I can have Zenigata chasing me. Crystal says I have two raid suggestions. All of them have 20 viewers and up. Ooh, that's okay. I mean, because we will try and default to ones that are shorter than that. But thank you very much, Crystal, for always being such an MVP with raid suggestions. But Vera has provided a couple, so I'll be checking these out in just a minute. Let's see. Kyvie says that's a decent ratio. Quita said BRB. I think I'm gonna have to nab a sleep gummy so I can hopefully get a good night's sleep. So y'all might get loopy typo Katie soon. Magpie says Dermo did a better job of it than I did. Lol. Quita says all right. Fingers crossed. The sleepy gummy works good this time. Salute future Katie when she starts typing silly in several minutes. Kyvie says a melatonin gummy is enough to put me to sleep quick. Quita said depends on the mg, the milligrams taken. Mine is 5 per gummy. Kyvie says same. Quita says I hope Logan checks the back of the carriage because I have a fun fact for it. When inspecting the omnibus, the back is labeled Phoenix Wright Omnibus. This is true even in the original Japanese version of the game. Really? Because his name isn't Phoenix Wright. Okay, so that makes a bit more sense because his name obviously isn't Phoenix Wright in the Japanese version. So that was meant, I assume, then as an Easter egg to the American localization. But then in the American localization, it doesn't make sense. Magpie says, valid reaction to Phoenix Wright Omnibus. Queen Katie says, giggles wildly due to sleep gummy. Magpie says, Ryunosuke, just like Susato, wouldn't it be effed up if intrusive thought? And Susato just like, that's nice, Ryunosuke. You should do your job now. Kyvie says, no kidding. Magpie says, Logan, Nina Dowd, the Mighty Endowed, is a Young Justice antagonist from the 90s comics. Oh, I think, wait, is she the one that they always had like the smoke in the foreground, like in front of like her boobs and things like that? She is a cat girl for no lore important reason. Her powers are probably just about exactly what you think they are. I think I do remember her. I've read one issue with her. Thank you, Magpie. I forgot about her name. Please tell me if I'm correct on that. Vex with a clip. Okay, for anyone who's lurking or is new or does not know the deal, if anyone posts a clip into either of our chats, we load it up on our clip viewers who can watch it together. YouTube got rid of clipping, unfortunately, so we're only really able to do it on Twitch at the moment. So let me pop this up into our clip viewer. This clip from Vex is, we can all see how far behind I am, is from 11 minutes ago, titled Inconspicuously Named Omnibus. In case there's hang on, that is loud. That is loud. I need to reduce the volume on that. Just a second, because we're still dealing with all of this. Let us see if that is better. It still seems a little loud to me, but hopefully it's better for you guys. Are you kidding me? Is this better for you? Are you kidding me? I wasn't ready for that. I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. I was like, I gotta come with a joke, but I can't even think of a joke. I was too flabbergasted. Thank you very much for the clip, Vex. I appreciate that. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat for just a minute. Derma says, Logan, they changed the name after World War II for reasons I needn't explain. Says, almost nobody in Britain has a skylight. Who'd want to look at the awful weather there? No shade, Ireland's just as bad weather-wise. Says, aw, Clips, I remember those days, but then it took an update to the... Clips, I used to be a clipper, then I took an update to the YouTube. Thank you very much, Dermo, though. Kyvie says, that's a Phoenix right. That's a Phoenix right there. Magpie says, imagine standing in court and a new foreign lawyer goes up to cross-examine and just smacks himself and you're still standing there wondering if he's even introduced himself or if you were busy thinking about dinner at the time. Says, I know how many knives are in my room, yes. 2. Vera says, I mean, if they had it as Naruhodo Ryuichi, it might make Susato and Ryu freak out. Yeah, because it doesn't make sense because, like, now, to be fair, the Phoenix Wright games, the English localization also has a weird Japanifornia element to it, which makes it confusing as to whether, like, Phoenix Wright himself is actually Japanese. I assume he still is, but, you know. Magpie says, that's the one, yup, that's Nina, lol. I always love reminding people of her. She's terrible and dumb, and I think it's kind of hilarious. I do remember that issue. I'd forgotten about it. That was from Peter David's Young Justice run. Vera says, thank you for the very stream. Queen Kitty says, thank you for the very vampire stream. And AMC with another hydrate. I will finish off this water here. Thank you, Toilet Duck. I will in just a second. Hang on. I think I did just save, but I will save again because I'm a good trained Pavlovian dog. If a sound alert redeem tells me to do something, I will do the thing it says to do. Thank you very much. Oh, and Dermo says they should have had it be written in French or something. Yeah, like maybe have a different one. Like, I think what they should have done is maybe have it, every language localization just like rotates around and has a different one. But that probably would have been too much extra work. AMC with some emotes, and then Vera posting some stuff. X says, thank you for the very Phoenix Wright omnibus stream. And there, 3 hours, 14 minutes, 51 seconds. I caught up to chat for the first time of the night on Twitch. All right, so because I've caught up to chat, we can turn off slow mode, and now is a really good opportunity for me to give everybody the rundown of the channel. In case the lurkers didn't hear it, because I think it's been a while since I've said it. Oh, I gotta breathe for a second, though. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Right now, this is the main game that we're playing, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, but we are also alternating with some shorter games. So on Tuesday, we are going to be finishing up Season 1 of Batman, the Telltale series. So you can be sure to check that out. Let me also post our link tree into the chat. So that means on Thursday of next week is where we're going to be picking up where we end up leaving off tonight. I'm still trying to decide what we're going to be doing Friday of next week. I've got a couple of different options. I think we might take a break before the second season of Batman the Telltale series, but yeah, there be options, so you guys can decide. Hey, let me check and make sure that these raid suggestions are still live. One of them looked like it might not be. Oh yeah, one of them isn't, but we got the other two, so let's just pick one of these. They both have one viewer, and let's go ahead and start populating a raid on Twitch. There's that. Here's our raid message. It looks like Vera already typed the raid message or put it into chat, but you can copy that over to your clipboard if you feel so inclined. And let's see. There we go. And Vera says, good night, friends. Magpie says, good night, Logan. Crystal says, thank you for the very heavy carriage. Guys, dead stream. I still want there to be like another a body or maybe even a living person underneath the seat. I don't know why. I just think that'd be delightful. Let's see. Derma says, thanks for the stream. Looking forward to this case. I'm enjoying it so far. I feel like so far, like tonight's stream is entirely just meeting characters, but it's been delightful. And it's been delightful, honestly, for me, because of all you guys here. I love hanging out with you guys. It makes my day. It makes my night, I guess, technically, in like a way that you can't imagine. I don't deserve a community as good, as wonderful, as amazing, as supportive, as just fantastic as all of you. Thank you all for being here. I love and appreciate each and every one of you, everyone on Twitch, everyone on YouTube, everyone watching the VOD, everyone who couldn't be here but is just thinking about the channel. Thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful Monday. I'll post the schedule tomorrow after work when I get home. And then on Tuesday, we'll do Batman Telltale. And Thursday, we're going to pick up where we're leaving off here. Crystal says night-night. Vex says goodnight. Crystal with some emotes. Again, I love and appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here. Everyone on Twitch, the raid's going to start in just a minute here. So have a wonderful night. Enjoy the raid. Everyone on Twitch, bye, everybody. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. And everyone on YouTube, thank you for being here as well. I really appreciate you. You guys are the best. You're wonderful. Thank you as well. I know that YouTube still isn't as chatty as Twitch, but maybe that's a good thing because I stay more caught up. You guys are amazing and wonderful, and thank you for being here, for your support, your friendship, and everything. Everyone on YouTube, have a good rest of your night. Everyone on the watching the VOD in the future, good night as well. Bye, everybody. Good night.